Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the Intercontinental Group of Awesome is Sunday for us as we record. And the Intercontinental Group of Awesome is so named because we span a huge ocean and exist on a few different continents. We get together on Sundays to play together. This is the first full session. We did a recorded but not released because we were just playing around with the mechanics. So this will be our first full session of a game written by Todd Crapper, aka the Warden, known as Pandora Total Destruction. It is known as a Overpowered Supers tabletop role-playing game. Tabletop role-playing game. I love the goals that Todd has in creating this game. This is my first time playing it. And so we are going to experience it together. It has some interesting ideas around scene economy, where there are structured acts, particular scene types that can be purchased with this scene economy, including the GM. But we'll get to that once we get past our prologue. The prologue is more of a loosey-goosey, we may hit mechanics if we want to, but there isn't a scene cost and there isn't a step progression system to complete the scene as there are in the 3-act structure of the game. So it'll be our getting feet wet and learning a bit about our characters version. So for this game of Pandora Total Destruction, we are playing it set in the world of our Power Beyond Doubt series, meaning that the idea of Atlantica City, the renamed Miami, a hub of international space travel or tourists coming to Earth, as well as the existence of the Atlanteans, sea folk who have more preternatural or superpowers. Can't really call them superhuman, right? Because they're not really humans. I've been like puzzling in my head, what term would they use? I've gone with superpowers because supernatural also feels like ghosts and goblins and the like. So super powered, because even I went with meta-human, which is a term I've heard before, but then it's like human. So it's funny how language works and how it's hard to sub certain things for other things sometimes. That said, so we have Atlanteans, we have aliens, we have humans. They all exist on Earth together. There are superpowers. They're pretty well known, especially in Atlantica City. We did some pre-work, as is Pandora Total Destruction's idea. We've already created characters. We have created the academy that everyone is going to. And we thought it would be interesting if we went with a remote location. As you can see here, it is a subterranean, is an underwater location, a biodome, as it were. That is located not far from Atlantis itself. Now, we've been a little loose about where is Atlantis, but I think in conversations we've had on and off cam, that is generally not that far from Atlantica City. And I also like that idea to keep things a little tight so that that proximity, things from our Power Beyond Doubt can flow over and back and the like. Should be fun. So that's all the preamble. As a reminder, we do have content or safety tools such as lines and veils and ask first, and that is in our character keeper or the Google spreadsheet that we use to house all of the character sheet information as well as pics of NPCs. I've also thrown in some data from the Pandora Total Destruction book as aids to all of us as we play, and a link to our online die roller. We use rollwithme.xyz, which is a wonderful online die roller, and I'm using the visual die roller because we have different die types, and I thought it would be fun. It also allows me to put clocks, countdown clocks, which should be interesting for when we get into the more structured scenes part of the game. So we have a number of things that we have a line on. It's not going to appear in this game. We're not interested in it. We'll all, as adults, keep each other in check. Interesting that Pandora Total Destruction, the game, suggests that the safety protocols are created and that the one person takes on the role known as the safety marshal, and is their responsibility to make sure that the safety protocols are followed. We're more comfortable with lines, veils, ask first. I actually poured it over the whole thing that we'd filled out on the Power Beyond Doubt character keeper, so I feel pretty comfortable we've got that. But I thought that was really neat and worth noting as part of Pandora Total Destruction, that really strong commitment to trying to ensure the safety of all the players at the table, and I wholeheartedly support that effort. And super sentience. I just saw super sapiens, super sentience in the those are good. Those are good, friends. Thank you very much. I really like those ideas and suggestions. Let's here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go around the horn and have everybody introduce themselves. Then we're going to go into the prologue. And during the prologue is when I want everyone to introduce their character. So we're like, I know it's a loaded term. Not everybody loves the idea of immersion, but I can't think of a synonym. Bad. I need to get like wordhippo.com up or something. But I find it fun and more immersive, and I want to do that in our prologue, is when we first introduce the characters, although everybody's made characters pretty much together. I think for us and for the audience, all dozen-ish of you, which may be just me watching it obsessively to prep for the next session. So let's go around the horn and remind everybody of who is playing this here game. We'll start from the far left-hand side of our character keeper, heading towards the right, which means that Alex, because your name starts with A, you get to go first.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him. I from England, but I live in Norway.
Welcome. You're a fabulous artist. Alex Prince knows the soups. Alex actually illustrated the one game that I published, Hit the Streets, and yeah. So when I show
characters, maybe playing a character who's actually in that book.
You may be. I'm so excited. And also there was like a folder of various art assets that Alex had created that I literally stole with his permission to use as NPC picks in this game. So Alex is a big, important part of our group. Actually, all you guys are all important, but Alex does art, so he's more important. No, wait, no, I didn't say that out loud. Sabine, you're up. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I am from Germany and am currently in Germany. I was in Sweden last week, but it's gone. It has been in the past now. I cannot draw very well, so I don't do art. Well, yeah, that's it. I can't say anything else. I can't draw very well because I'm not trained to do that.
Well, Sabine is a writer and has created a number of supplements for indie games that we love, some really cool award-winning trophy incursions. So
mainly I do translations though for role-playing stuff. So
lots of translations.
None of you would recognize because I think most of you can't read German.
I would take your translation, I would drop it into Google Translate and see what happens. Cool. Next up is Tyler, because I'm going left to right on the character keeper, and so Tyler, you're the next to the.
Hi there, I'm Tyler. He, him pronouns. I am from South Carolina, United States. I can't draw or translate anything, but I am a good talker. And other than that, I like games.
Oh, Tyler is what I would say. No offense to Jen, because Jen's probably like right up near there, but I'm giving Tyler this title for today, our like crunch expert. Tyler is really good with solid, chewy games, high dense board games, high strategy stuff. So it's great to have Tyler along, because he can help translate those things for my indie brain that really likes soft mechanics and, oh my God, I have to roll dice mechanics. I do have to roll dice in this game. It's scary, friends, I'm afraid. Thank you, Tyler. Last but certainly not least is Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns. I wrote a game called Power Beyond Doubt that I need to finish someday. And I paint miniatures sometimes.
On a stream. So
On-
that's true.
Yeah, true. I'm also a professional board game designer, customer servicey kind of person thing for Select Quest games. So huzzah. However, I'm still perfectly happy with having Tyler wear the crown of Crunchmaster for this session.
Yes, this session, Tyler. I just hand it to you. All right.
Oh, is
Cool.
this a game we're playing? Oh, what are the rules? Teach me. You boys are so clever.
Oh no, Jake's gonna skewer me
No,
I deserve it.
no, I have fun playing that role because it's like, well, I have fun playing that role when I'm testing somebody else's game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, well, tell me about this. Oh, this rule seems important. What's that all about? And it's just it's playing a straight man kind of role.
It is fun. Yes, I have done that in the past at conventions, and it's always amusing to listen to folks describe
Mhm.
games. It's fun. It's cool to see their points of view. So let's step into the game, friends. We begin at the beginning, which is I'm imagining that, and of course I'm totally borrowing just a little bit of mental imagery from Miyazaki. If you remember Spirited Away, that long trip on the train that she took that went through above the ocean. I love the imagery of that. And so borrowing just slightly from that, but perhaps more along the lines of an oceanic tube that has been created from Atlantica City. Yeah, underwater train tube. Yeah, exactly. So we begin with, if this were a comic book, panels of a huge, long escalator that goes down. Looks like it goes down for miles, right? The perspective, the forced perspective looking down. We see smatterings of people, and we see that there are some sort of like tourist folks, families, cadre of little business folks in their tidy suits and power suits and the like. And then there's a main area where folks are getting ready to go onto the tube, the underwater train tube, and it's dark here externally, but some false light, that harsh kind of halogen focus on people as they move in and out. And I think this is where we get our first glance of Tekla. So Tekla, Jen, if you could describe to us what the artist would draw about Tekla, our first introduction to the character. Oh, that's true. Power suits do have multiple connotations. Whoops. What would the artist draw? What do we see about Tekla? What does Tekla have with her on this trip?
I think that the artist depicts her as kind of slouched. The teenage disaffection is pretty strong with this one, but she doesn't look fully disengaged with her surroundings. Seems like she's actually pretty alert, and some of the disaffection is clearly some kind of front. It's got that. The artist is really good with these sort of subtle disjunctions between pose and affect, right? She's got what's the climate in here? It's probably climate controlled to hell and back.
Oh,
Strong
yeah,
AC.
absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
strong AC. As I quickly go to our safety and roller tab so that I can give this answer in, it's about 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh,
A little chill.
a little chilly. Yeah, so Tekla's in some like fancy multi-panel leggings, you know, the kind with like the side pockets that are actually big enough to put your phone in. And a baggy rock and roll t-shirt, a teenage gerbil explosion, weird. And she's got a rolling luggage of some sort with her and a backpack.
Nice. And Teclis, among the throng that are moving in, there's a ticketing turnstile system. It's pretty orderly. It's not quite the mass of, say, public transit that you might see in a large American city, which I would imagine is not dissimilar to Europe, but correct me if
Tekla's
I'm wrong.
pretty used to higher traffic. Yeah, I think.
So as people like press in, Tekla seems to just glide along unfazed by that.
Yep, knows what to do with her train tickets, etc.
Nice. And then I think the next person that we see is we see Tara Gamble stepping onto the train. And also, just so we have similar imagery, I'm imagining it's a lot more like a bullet train than a classic choo-choo train, right? So just so we're clear, you're not like stepping up several steps and then going in. It's like doors are sliding open and you come into a central concourse where you head up and down to the areas. And there are folks who are just sitting in the commons. And then there are also folks who get rooms, smaller rooms, compact rooms. But what about Terry Gamble? What do we see about her? What do we notice when she enters?
This is very much what she looks like. Tara is extremely pretty, almost not real pretty. The skin is flawless, hair is perfect, might be a result of a careless wish at one point, but she is, if possible, to withdraw into yourself till you disappear. That's sort of what she is doing. She's got, her body language is very small and tight. She has a kind of small suitcase that she's carrying with her. There is a bit of that wide-eyed look of someone who is not used to being perhaps in such big crowds. And she's checks her ticket and checks before stepping in, and is quietly moving down to try and find where she is supposed to go.
Nice.
Oh, she glows with a faint bluish interior light.
Nice. And does Tara seem, it seems like she doesn't take up a great deal of space, like she pulls within herself. It's perhaps a little comforting in that there's maybe a third to a half of the people who are your regular humans. There's a lot of Atlanteans here traveling back to Atlantis. So there's a lot of slightly odd. I'm imagining like maybe the interior shot's a little bit like Top 10, sorry, I said Big 10. Top 10 Alan Moore comic where got lots of little Easter eggs of various weird alien folk that are sitting amongst tourists, families, business folk. And I think when Tara checks her ticket, opens up the door into one of the small rooms, that you see Dorothy is already there, seated in that small room. So what do we see when we're first introduced to Dorothy?
Dorothy was wearing a pretty dress, I guess, or like a Sunday best dress. She has her hair in a French braid. She's blonde, but some wisps of her curly hair have already are moving in a breeze that isn't actually there, or maybe she's just moving her head around a lot. She has a crocheting needle, and she is not nervous. She is crocheting. She has what is she doing? I think she's doing. It's cold in here. She's doing socks. That seems like a good idea, because she has. think she has. She's looking up, and she's looking like she's been caught in doing something wrong. When she sees Tara come in, and then looks relieved because it's just another teenager and not the conductor, because she's not too sure if this is the right compartment she's supposed to be in.
Nice. I'd like to pause the introductions. We'll see Karen in just a moment. But like Tara and Dorothy, the two of you see each other for the first time. Tara, it looks like you're supposed to be in this tight, like if you've ever seen on some trains, like they have those rooms where you can pull out the slot and have a couple cot beds. And there's actually even a like finagle around a thing, and there's a lavatory, like bathroom type area, of course, but then you have to deal with the other person who's in the room with you type deal. But then there's this girl who's knitting socks. What do you do, Tara?
Hi.
Oops. Oh, hi. Hi. Am I just? I don't know if I'm in the right compartment, actually.
I don't know if you are either.
Yeah.
This is, and I'll show the ticket. This is the compartment, I think. Is your ticket say the same thing?
I lost my ticket.
Oh.
Right. I had some luggage, and I kind of lost the grip on the ticket, and it flew away.
Are you going to Quanta?
Yeah. I'm going. Oh, you too?
Then it's probably the right compartment.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Hi, I'm Dorothy, by the way. Don't laugh. I'm from Kansas.
Oh, like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Tara.
And I will stand up and shake your hand if you let me.
Oh, I will. I guess I'll put my stuff away.
I've just put. There seems to be a thing that we can put luggage in. I put my luggage down there, and I think this is actually where the bed is supposed to go. So this is not where this luggage is supposed to go.
I think since I don't know, I will try and do the same thing.
Nice. You realize if you just press just a little harder, you could probably just shove it right in there. The two of you are finagling on trying to put your luggage away in a recessed bed area. When we cut back to Tekla, you end up walking right past the two of them. You can see through the windows. It's very open. Like it's not one of those trains where everything's closed down. You can draw shades and the like if need be to get the private room some privacy. But you walk right past the two of them, see these two girls fiddling with their luggage in. Oh,
I'm walking past from outside the train or from inside the train?
You entered the train at this point. You're not.
Okay.
That's a great clarifying question. I think you've entered the train at this point, walked down, trying to find your room, and I think coming from the opposite direction is when we see Karen Kowalski. So Karen, were you kicked out of the last room that you were in, or why are you running a little late here as you hear some announcements of people?
Would it have been a room with another
Sure.
student?
Yeah.
I I was playing with a coin and like just bouncing it around, and they were getting unnerved. I mean, a coin's not going to smash through the glass. It's just a small coin.
Just a small coin. Yeah, we'll say that you
Unnerves.
originally were on a room, in a room with a young man by the name of Joaquin, what he introduced himself as. And maybe he didn't tell you that he was headed to the academy. But yeah, you
Didn't ask.
exactly. Why would you? Then Tekla, you find your room, and it is, I think it's just like the next room after
Mm-hmm.
two girls'
Yeah.
luggage. You're the first one here. It's been recently cleaned. It still has that slight hint of just a little bit of bleach. It's crisp. You see there's a lack of entertainment devices in here. In fact, there are no electronics in this particular room. Everything looks
Hmm.
manual with
No outlets or anything.
no outlets whatsoever.
I do in fact spend a moment like peeking under the little table and other things, looking for an outlet. I curse silently to myself and then hoist my luggage up into the luggage cubby. And then I peek in on the other room that I passed with the two young ladies who are clearly having some trouble. Say, hey girls, you need some help with your luggage?
I think we got it in there almost.
Well, I think that in these booths, that's actually the sleeping pod, and that's actually the luggage.
Oh my. Oh, I'm sorry.
And if you just grab this, it opens up.
Oh,
Wow. I look at Tara and say, "Wow, I'm so sorry."
And Tekla looks like she jumped like right off of some goth band cover, except without a whole lot of white cake makeup, intense green eyes, like.
thank you. And I'll slide it up there.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could sleep in these. Are we going to be on the train long enough to be sleeping?
And Tekla searches her memory a bit. Is the location of the academy or any Atlantean settlement near it public?
I think I'd like to answer that question by posing it out to the group. Which is more fun, that this is just a few hours bullet train tube distance away from Atlantica City, or if it is a thing that is enough to where you could pull out of bed and take a nap?
I
I
think
like
it's
the
not
idea
that.
that I was going to say I quite like not that it's like a whole day, but 6-8 hours. Like you could have a nap, you could get really bored, you could find something to entertain yourself.
I think it's maybe not that far away, but this is the kind of train that stops at every kind of like little settlement, at every fishbowl on the way, right?
Yeah, every kelp farm and
Yeah, and that's why it takes
and so on. Yeah.
So that's why
And you got pressure changes and.
Oh, right, that's a good point. Pressure
Oh,
changes.
that's nice.
Yeah, you might have to. The train might have to stop for a while to acclimate the passengers.
Yeah, also we might need to cross the line from the country line from the US to Atlantis itself, and passports need to be checked and stuff like that. Remembering how long we spent the time at the border between Germany and Denmark. I don't know why that took so long, but it was 2 hours, which was just sending around. So, and maybe to draw from that experience, maybe in the middle of the night, some people will come by and control the passports. and check the passports, because that's the best part, that people are actually asleep to check their
Oh,
passports.
wow. Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's time to check the
Good
yeah.
time.
2 a.m. in the morning.
Cool. So Karen, you were headed towards a room that the gothish girl came out of.
I mean, I'm like, hey, because I see where she's like talking to that room. Like,
And I like pull back out of the room and like, I'm hanging onto the door so I can lean back.
Like, I definitely like point your t-shirt because you said you got the teenage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, same t-shirt. Guess we're friends now. I'm going in this room. And I go into the room that you came out of.
Sounds good.
Mm.
Anyways, I'm just across the hall and up a couple pods. If you guys need any help.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Are there any outlets in your room? Yes, they have outlets.
Yes, they have outlets. In fact, they have a small TV.
Is it cool if I charge my phone in your room?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Cool, I'm at 20%. I'll like take care of that.
Oh, that's
Before.
Wow, that's an outlet. I thought it was maybe a water faucet or something. I'm sorry, I've never been in such a train like that before.
No?
I feel like such a country route.
Everybody's got a first time for everything.
Yeah, I guess. Hi, I'm Dorothy, by the way.
Oh, hey, Declan.
I'm
Hi,
Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Have you been to Atlantis before?
Oh, no. No. You?
No.
Okay.
Are you going sightseeing, or why are you going?
Education.
Oh, I guess us too.
And like,
yeah,
I'll nod at
guess.
Tara, who's obviously like faintly glowing, and go, yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see you there. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
I mean, you can also stay in the room with your charging phone. I don't know if it's already done.
Are you guys going to steal my phone?
No, of course not.
Then I'm fine leaving it here.
Okay.
All right.
And when
Gosh,
you're
what
gone,
kind of like minorly elevated from chips in a bag snacks do I think Tekla brought with her? Maybe some kind of homemade Chex Mix thing.
Oh, nice.
And some olives, because she's like that. But yeah, she'll make the offer of, hey, if you guys get hungry, I've got a bunch of Chex Mix and some olives. And gosh, what's a treat that her dad would have sent her off with? Because in this setting, her dad is still alive.
Ooh, true. What about like some kind of Atlantis themed treat to get you used to it?
Those blue gummy sharks? I don't know.
Maybe like a kelp themed chip of some kind.
Maybe some kind of like kelp roll deal.
Yeah.
And kelp rolls, because apparently they're really popular down there.
We cut away from the food exchange to Karen. You've come into this room. That room that you were in with Joaquin had outlets and a little TV set and everything, but this one, which corresponds to your ticket, by the way, does not. There are no outlets whatsoever. In fact, it's very rudimentary. It's very.
I don't have a phone to charge.
Exactly, so you're fine. You're fine.
Whatever.
Door opens up. It's not the other girl. It's this blonde, or no, sorry, this redheaded girl. It's like curly. It's kind of frizzy red hair. You're Karen, right?
Kowalski.
You prefer going by your last name? It's a lot more syllables.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I'm Ella. I'm Ella. She like steps in,
hey.
closes the door behind her.
You in here with me?
No, I'm like, like a monitor. Like I'm kind of in charge, sort of.
In case we try and escape?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that.
I came here on my own terms. I'm not escaping.
Oh, good, because it's like the tube is high security and everything, alarms, big stuff.
It's all right, I guess. So, you from there? I mean, you,
Yeah, I work for the academy. She looks like she's like your age.
you're in our class, or whatever it's called.
Oh, I mean, basically, yeah, but I'm also sort of in charge.
Right. Okay. Well, good to know, I guess.
Oh no, I mean, there are teachers and instructors and all that stuff. I'm just more like team captain, kind of like that. Because I'm not dangerous like you.
So you don't really have much powers or anything.
Oh no, I have really good control. You'll get it too. Don't worry. This is why you're
What
going,
can you
right?
do?
That's why you
You got
volunteered.
laser beams or something, or talk to goldfish, or
Oh my God. Could you imagine talking to fish here underwater? Like cacophony.
I guess so. Yeah. So what can you do?
Oh, I've got, like mind powers and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I'm like a bit more suspicious now.
So Tekla, what you've decided that the food exchange, they're not going to steal your phone. You come back and there's this new girl sitting in there with the
Look.
shirt twin of yours.
Look,
Oh,
he's
hey.
fine. Hey,
Tekla,
saying-
right?
Yeah.
I'm Ella. What
Hi,
are you
Ella.
doing? Hey, I'm kind of like the monitor. I'm just making sure you guys got set in.
she's a
Everything's
student like
okay?
us.
Yeah, as okay as it gets. Welcome to public transit. And I'll slouch back on one of the seats and
Oh,
She does
sorry you
mind
ended up
control.
in mind control. Whoa. I did not say mind control.
Your words.
I like kind of mind powers. That's way different. There's a spectrum, okay? Kowalski. She prefers using her
What, you
last
can control
name.
your own mind?
I hope so.
nobody gets to do that.
Right.
Anyway, you're both going to the academy in case you guys haven't done any icebreakers or whatever, fun at parties, etc. I'm basically like in charge. So if you need anything, just let me know.
Outlets?
Oh, right. See, this is a special room because of Kowalski's powers in case they go on a fritz kind of thing. So you're basically screwed. I'm sorry.
So you're an electrokinetic?
Magnetism.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
Screens, phones. Yeah.
Yep. Keep all your precious, valuable electronics far away from Kowalski.
Thank you for the help, Ellen. I'll see you around at school.
Claps your shoulder. Is Tekla tall, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, Tekla's
so she like reaches up to
kind of tall.
pat your shoulder. Great. You're going to do great.
I sure
okay,
am. It's pride of my school and the father. God
Great.
go with you, etc.
Etc. Okay, cool. She shuts the door and comes over and opens Dorothy and Tara's door. We'll get the reaction shot. She's Dorothy, Tara, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hi.
Oh, hey. I'm Ella. I'm basically in charge of the team. Like monitor kind of thing. Team, you
Okay.
guys have already talked. You know you're both going to the academy, right? That's you've got that worked out.
Uh-huh.
Good. Cool. It's really cool.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. She like steps in, closes the door. Yeah.
Right seat. I'm sorry, I lost my ticket.
Oh no, you're supposed to be here. Don't worry, Dorothy.
Oh, it's a relief. I've got some cookies if you want some. Forgot that to the other nice kid, but I was a bit in awe and still wondering what exploding garbles were about. I don't hold with animal cruelty.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of animals under the sea. Like, I'll totally take a cookie. It's gonna go, totally to my thighs and stuff, but just one, right?
You can take it's a box of cookies. They're homemade cookies. They're not nothing fancy or anything about it, but
Did you make them? Are you like a cook?
nah, I mean it's basically cookies. Anybody can make cookies.
But you made these.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Last cookies I made on our farm.
Don't they smell good?
Do you want some, Tara? They are.
I will reach and take one.
Nothing special, but
Oh wow. What is this?
it's a cookie. There's cranberries in there. Yes.
Cranberries? That's bananas. I
No,
mean, not
there
bananas.
are
literally.
bananas in there. No, we
Cranberries and
didn't have
bananas. Something to think about.
We didn't have bananas on our farm.
You had cranberries on your farm?
There's somebody. My mom grew some bushes. That's it. It wasn't much.
Man.
Well, they're very, very good.
Thank you.
Yes, these are really good. You should probably like hold on to them for a while. You're probably not going to get to make any more. I don't think I've ever seen cranberries in Atlantis.
There must be other stuff you can. I mean, you must be able to bake a cookie where we're going, right? I mean, there will be a kitchen, I assume, somehow.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. There's totally.
Cool.
Wow, this is super good. Yeah, there's like like kitchens and stuff, but that's mostly for the staff to cook for us. But I'm sure you could probably.
We have staff that cooks for us. Wow. Okay. That's sure changed.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's great.
Okay.
And our team's pretty solid. I mean, be careful about Kowalski because she has like magnetism powers. So don't have your phone around her or anything like that.
Oh, was I supposed to bring a phone?
You don't have a phone?
No, phones are expensive. What?
You have a phone, right, Tara?
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, it's okay not to have a phone, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, it's not like we're gonna have 5G down there anyway. But you can, you can sponge off the Wi-Fi if you're cool about it. They've got filters, and they're always watching, so be careful. Where you browse and stuff, like certain sites probably want to stay far away from, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Dorothy has clearly no idea what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm sort of okay.
Okay. Well, it looks like you guys are set in. I'm gonna head to my room now.
Okay.
And I'll come back and check on you later.
It was very nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you. Thanks for the cookie, Dorothy.
Sure.
She goes out, close the door. It's a quick wave, and then she has that kind of walk where she walks like heel hits the ground before rolling up on her foot, so her head bounces a little bit as she walks quickly towards a place.
Okay.
So we cut back to Kowalski and Tekla after your revelation of magnetic powers and conversation with Ella. What do you do?
So she's in charge? Yeah, right.
Apparently somebody told her she's in charge and she's dealing with it.
She probably just got a checklist. It went to her head.
Meh.
So,
I've seen narcs get it way more into their head, so who knows? She's
probably
maybe
mine.
got 5 minutes on us.
I've told you mine. What's your thing?
Time powers.
Cool. Like time travel?
No, time travel's not possible. Requires more energy than exists in the universe to do. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I've heard different superheroes say that they've done time traveling, and I kind of don't believe it.
So all those guys are bullshitting?
I don't think that they're bullshitting. I just think they're mistaken. I just think they did something else and they think it's time
LSD?
travel. Huh?
LSD?
No, not like LSD.
Oh.
I mean, oh man, I don't know. I just don't buy it. I don't have an alternative answer that works, but I
What
don't
do you
believe
do
it.
then?
Oh, I stop time.
Why do you have to go to the academy for that? I mean,
Time doesn't like it when you stop it.
okay. Take your word for it.
Cool. Magnetism, though.
Yeah. Easy close up. Like take a coin and just like bounce it against the door into the hallway, not the windows.
Right.
Bounce the coin off the thing and then like, but like as it kind of goes from my hand, it it goes a bit more erratic as it hits the door, and the door actually rattles before the coin hits, and then comes back to my hand. Yeah.
You got something you can practice. That's really cool.
Yeah, but throw it further, probably tear out the door, and then a few other doors.
Huh. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, also, like the girl said, don't bring your phone around me.
Got it.
I mean, I try not to, but
Yeah.
like one of the handrails, like the arm bars, I just put my hand near it and the little arc of electricity just goes off.
There's an announcement over the loudspeaker for that they're about to pull away from the station. Last call for all boarders, leaving in 1 minute.
Yep. And I reach into my backpack and I pull out this like big fluffy pullover hoodie type thing, and then a thick ass physics textbook. Man, I'm glad that I decided not to put this on my iPad.
Yeah, I mean, once it works out that you're carrying a brick with you.
Yeah, these suck. Here, hold this. And like each page is so thin.
I can
Onion paper.
The thumb flick through the page and just look at all the diagrams and skim. Yeah,
like even the chapter header is just gobbledygook. It's like,
I mean,
those words mean things.
Title?
Huh?
What's the book called?
Oh man. All right, hold on. Google gets to solve my question here. I think it's Advanced Physics and Quantum Boundary States.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah, I don't get most of this stuff either. Don't worry about it.
oh, good, because this means nothing. I mean, do you need it for your powers?
It might help. Time loops into physics in most cases.
Maybe I should get a book on magnets or something.
I mean, yeah.
Back the book.
It's also very directly related to gravity, which is related to mass, which is related to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's right. And then I like go into my other luggage and I grab out like a portable battery, a couple of thumb drives, my laptop, and my iPad, and I then ferret those over to Dorothy and Tara's room.
Nice.
As
Tekla is doing the I must protect the devices movement, and you're heading down the hallway, that's when the train heads away from the station, and the windows, I imagine your windows are open, so there's a little bit of like that light, zip, 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 and then the exterior goes pitch black. Like they only have lights for a few hundred yards, and then it's just a pitch black on the outside. You still have the lights on the inside. Tekla comes into Dorothy and Tara's room and hands off your other devices. As you're doing the pass off of things, there's a 6'2", 6'3" green skinned man with a fin on the top of his head, obviously Atlantean. He's standing in the hallway. My name is Triton, and I don't know if, like, do any of you read Supers comics or follow any superheroic teams of any kind?
In character or out of character?
In character. Sorry, in character. Does Tekla, Dorothy, or Tara?
I imagine I read comics.
Yeah, when I can get them, sure. Sure, anything that is not related to farm work.
Okay, cool. Then
Tekla does not.
Okay, wow. Jen, it's gonna be hard.
She's too cool.
She's too cool for such things. You both recognize Triton. Triton was on a superhero team with the Atlantean. He was part of the Atlantis 5.
Wow.
He, according to the comics and also some news reports, purportedly stopped a couple of alien invasions problems, and he's evidently just right here.
Mr. Triton, it's a real honor to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm Tara. This is Dorothy.
I'm Dorothy.
And Tekla.
Excellent. Good. Yes, I've seen all of your profiles, but it's nice to meet you for real. I'm an instructor at the academy.
Oh, wow. Some of Dorothy's hairs uncurl from her braid a little.
Oh, wow. You're
Really?
going to be learning
Wow.
from you?
That's...
I hope so. I will be instructing you in team dynamics. as well as tactics, small unit tactics. That's my area of expertise.
Wow.
As much as anyone can be an expert. We're always learning.
So we were supposed to learn to control our thing.
Part of learning to control your power is learning to depend on your compatriots. Each of you will be responsible for learning how to harness what you can do, but also how to help your allies harness what they can do.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds fabulous.
I
Sir.
look forward to working with all three of you, as well as Karen. Is she in her room?
Yeah, she's over there.
Good. I'll go and speak with her. And Triton will close the door.
Holy cannoli. Triton.
Oh, I read a comic about him. I wasn't sure it was him or like that, but wow.
He's like a major hero.
Really?
I've
Part
heard
of the
about-
Atlantean Five.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a series where they fight a thing, and and they
Is
win.
that like
of
a
course.
Florida thing or what?
He's like saved the world multiple times.
I mean, the Atlantean, right? Even I've heard
Even
of
Tekla
them.
knows who the Atlantean is. She's not that cool. She's not. I lived on a mountain or a cave.
If you've been to a convenience store, you've probably seen like Atlantic O's or something, and it's got a picture
Right.
of the Atlantean like a Wheaties box.
Right. It's like pretending not to know who Serena Williams is. Like, come on. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So yeah. Oh, wow. Cool.
I didn't expect we'd have. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't think we'd have teachers like Triton.
It's better than a bunch of spooks.
Spook.
This is all paid for by the government, right? We don't have to pay for that. Okay, just wondering.
I didn't really get an option of coming.
I don't. I mean, if they want to put a Met Triton surcharge on our schooling bill, then okay.
No, I mean, I couldn't. The government said I had to come. Nobody said anything about paying, but right now I'm worried actually because we get people cooking for us, and then we get these awesome teachers that has to cost money. Cost money, right?
Did you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork first? Did you read any of it?
Yeah, but it was all legalese, and the agent said I didn't have to worry my pretty little head about it.
Well, I mean, if you don't pay, what are they going to do? Make you leave?
Well, I don't know, actually. They might.
I didn't see
don't know.
anything about payment in my documentation, so I don't think you need to worry about it.
Okay.
Most of it is legal consequences for, gosh, what was their euphemism for it? Truancy. Basically, we're agreeing to a 5-year term.
Oh, yeah, I got that. That's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
It's not like I have any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't stop it. But
Yeah,
that
but
wouldn't stop your usual loan officer from signing you up for something.
Yeah, that's what I was worrying about.
The darkness outside disappears as you enter a portion of the tube that is transparent, translucent. You can see out into the ocean floor, just zipping along at several hundred kilometers per hour. It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's No pretension. There is an equal amount of tip of the nose grease from Tekla on the windows with everybody else, because that's a really cool view.
Nice. I think that's the point where we'll take our mid-game bio break.
All right.
Okay, and we are back. I've really enjoyed this, but I do know we have a shortened time frame. So, are there any within this prologue? Are there any scenes that folks want to have before you arrive at the academy? I'm gonna open that space and make sure.
I'm cool with us jumping into the.
Yeah, I'm too scared to use my powers on this trade, so I'm not going to do anything.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna transform into a storm witch thingy. So
No wishing that the train would go faster.
No, I have something I want to wish for.
I could make the train go fast.
But I'll wait till we're somewhere safer.
Ooh, cool.
Nice. Okay. Well, then we are going to transition to the first act of our story. The act 1 is known as exploration in this 3-act structure of Pandora Total Destruction. Scenes in the first act introduce the supers, the academy, the central characters involved in the story. Questions will arise as uncertainties and mysteries may appear. Cracks occur in the purpose behind this institution and its faculty as the supers explore their academy and interact with others around them. Something is happening in the background as an unknown villain prepares to fulfill a dire plot. But first, they must acquire something or someone that makes it possible to complete the next phase of their plan. This act is about creating questions for the supers, your characters, to seek out as they begin to train their powers with some calamitous results. So the way that scenes happen is the beginning of each act. Each player, including me, rolls a d6 to determine your scene points. This is known as a scene roll, and each player will receive 1 scene point per result on their die. So scene roll of 4 means you have 4 scene points for this act. If you roll like crap, don't fret. We have something that can be done there. I'm going to share screens so that we can all have fun figuring out. I am going to change my dice to black. And I'm moving a die out here before I roll it. I'm moving a die out here. Come on. Is it underneath? Come on, man. What's going on?
I think you just have to click the
Oh,
big
selecting this. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I'm going to select that and roll the die selected. Ha ha! I have 5 seed points. Write that down.
This is my purple one, and I guess I'll re-roll. 3.
Okay.
3
So
seed points.
3 is the number of counting. The number of counting shall be 3. So if you jump down here, we're in Act 1, and you have 3 scene points. I don't know why I say number of scenes. It's supposed to be scene points. So let's jump back over. Who'd like to know roll next?
I did throw out on a dice.
Okay.
Does it automatically roll when you put it out in the first place?
I mean,
or does
it
just always
generates
start
a
at
random
6?
number.
I got 6.
Okay. Just you're going to sit on that then. That's a good call. All right. You are also
Try to put in a die and then roll it. Maybe it will work. There's the die. There's the orange one. Oh, unusual. And I'm rolling it. And it's a 6. Wow, we have so many scene
Nice.
points.
Oh, this act
Cool.
is going to last a good long while. Exciting.
Uh-huh.
And last but not least is Tekla. You've got your do you want to re-roll? Or yeah, you should re-roll.
What
Isn't it like the button below the 6?
Yeah, if you want to, you click on it, and then this will highlight roll selected die, and you click on that, and you'll re-roll whatever die you have selected. If you want to add a die, you have to just select what type of 6-sider, then you click add it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's where I ran into. I had the same problem.
Okay, but okay, cool.
Oh, Tekla got a 1. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, guess
Well, we can share, can't we?
guess the
Welcome to
core thing that I don't like
Sucktown.
about this game. But
Yeah.
but let's figure out how that works. I'm curious.
Yes.
We can
So
share, can't we? We can.
Yeah, you
I
can.
think we can.
Around.
I can give out 1 die at least, I think, to another person. And since I've got 6, I will give 1 to Tekla.
okay.
So I only have 5.
I'll do the same.
I have 2, thank you.
You have 3 now.
Oh snap.
And I put the scene points in somewhere 34, 35.
Yeah, it should be right
Okay.
there on 34. So
Okay,
it was 6,
yeah.
so you gave 1 away, so you should be at
So it's 5 now. I changed
Okay.
it. And Alex needs to change it to at his
The eye.
AF thingy
I'm
box.
hidden behind. Should screen share.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dropped it to a 5. I got you. There you go.
Thank you.
Cool. So good. Then everybody has either 3 or 5 scene points. Exciting. Cool. I'm going to do a wee bit of narration. Oh, there's some really loud background noise coming from somebody. I think Jen. Yeah, it sounded like an air conditioner came on, or I don't know. Just
I mean, I popped a can of pop, and
It's
people
gone
are
now.
in my neighborhood like mowing their lawns, but
it's way better now. But there was a moment where
Weird.
it just sounded like you were right beside a refrigerator running. But now it's good. So sorry. Here we go. As we described, there were a number of stops. So you end up being here on the train, the underwater train, for 8 hours or so. During the montage that takes place, just curious, I want to go around the horn. Does anyone actually take a nap, or are you active and chatting during the entire time? Do we see in the montage anyone get up and like try to explore around the train? Tekla, what do we see of you? Our brief little montage as several hours pass during the train trip.
yeah, Tekla is kind of restless. She does take a brief nap at one point, but I think that's like maybe 1 or 2 panels interspersed amongst several other panels where she's playing cards with Kowalski, or reading, taking some notes, snarling and crumpling some pieces of paper and throwing them across the room, because physics hard. Wandering around the train, being like, is there a food car? It'd be kind of fun if there was a food car. But also like sharing kelp rolls and olives and what was the other thing that she had as snacks?
Oh,
There was
she
a
had kelp roll?
kelp roll, olives, and something else that
trail
was
mix.
like
Trail
trail mix. Yes, like a homemade Chex Mix sort of thing with basically everybody that we've met so far. Even LA, if she's willing to not be a pain in the butt narc for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think there is a food cart, an area where you can come in and sit down. Food is served. Okay.
Grumpus noises. There's the kitten is being very kitten.
Okay. There is a food cart, so you are able to go into that car, and they will serve people, right? Like you go in, you sit down, some servers come around, hand you a menu, you order the food. So I'm curious, what about Dorothy, I noticed that you rebraided your hair at some point. Were there any other in our montage that we see?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, Dorothy's way too nervous and keyed up to sleep. She tries for about 2 minutes, fidgets, and then fidgets around the bed, and then decides that she can't sleep. Or she needs to go and look at the train because she hasn't exactly figured out the lavatory thing yet. And also she wants maybe something to drink, coffee if possible. Maybe she can get some, so she will go and look stuff. And if Tara wants to come, she will of course ask if Tara wants to come.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, for you, if I somewhere that has coffee or tea or stuff.
I'm sorry you broke up on me. I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, she was asking if she should bring you something, coffee, tea, or soft drink or something.
I'm sure. I'd love a soda. And I kind of pulled out of my suitcase a well thumbed through copy of Miss Avalon, and I've opened up my little Ziploc bag with a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Is that what we see from Tara? Is mostly like reading,
Just
finish off her
get all cramped up into a corner and she's reading, and be
Kind of
very
person that just
careful not to get
zones out.
peanut butter on the pages.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Try to whoever it is. She will at one point try to this mysterious Kowalski person that people have been talking about. Just we don't have to play this out. Just maybe see a panel where she puts her head into the cat to her and says like, "Hey, I'm Dorothy," and that's it. Yeah, and I'm roboting and I'm.
You get the So what do you do? I'm magnets. She's time.
Oh, wind. Okay, maybe a little more than
I guess. Wind. I guess somebody's got to have that power now.
Sorry.
Where you going?
School?
Oh, now, right now.
Oh no, coffee. I mean, sorry. I'm going to find out if there is some coffee or tea or something.
Okay, I'm coming with you.
Oh, cool.
Tekla's like nose deep in book, like looking particularly intense. You're not sure she heard you.
Wow.
Otherwise, she might have something.
Get in the dismissive wave, just like you're gone, you're zoned.
Yep.
Nice.
I'd like walk past Dorothy, like through past the. We're standing in the doorway. And
like 2 seconds after the door closes, she's like, "Hold on, I've almost got this." What?
Nice. Cool. Eventually, the tube trip comes to your stop. Triton comes back, and by the way, Alex, did we mention the Triton thing? I think we did, but
I read his description. So
okay,
I saw how he's linked. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. He comes around and yeah, who would? How do you even bring up a teenage gerbil explosion into a conversation? So Triton comes. Our stop is next. There's a small transport from the station to the academy, and so please prepare yourselves. I'll be driving you to your new home. And then he heads back and checks in with each of you, and soon you enter a station which is dry, but it's within a biodome, and you see there are a number of people who are disembarking, and there's some kind of like tourist group. There's a person who's got like a little flag thing, and people are all forming around that touristy guide. There's a group of business folks that are all not in power suits like that power suits, but they head off and get into a sub that is heading out, and then the four of you, as well as the girl who introduced herself to you, Ella, and the Joaquin, who Kowalski you had a brief conversation with. All six of you get into. I'm kind of imagining that it's simply a sub, but it's done in a design like a manta ray, so that it has this kind of these beautiful swept wings and then a bit of a tail, but it looks like it's more of like an affectation of a tail. Maybe it's used for stabilization, but it's not like there's anything that can be stored there. The six of you all step on board. It's quite a bit tighter in this manta ray transport. There's a lot of the space given to cargo. The metal looks almost bioorganic, so it doesn't have that cold sheen to it. It almost looks like the inside of a conch shell in a way, and you're able to see directly, like shotgun straight out the front, because there's a view screen. The Triton is there, as well as a woman, a human woman, who well, Dorothy and Tara have read comics. Let me ask if Karen Kowalski do you imagine that Karen grew up reading comics, following superheroes, anything along that lines? Like big fan, aware of it because it's just part of your culture? What do you think? Troubles with mute button?
I missed it.
Oh, okay. So, Alex, do you think that?
Oh, it was directed to me. Yeah,
it was you. So, comics related. How big into superhero lore is Karen Kowalski? Do you imagine?
I mean, she has done the superheroing, so I don't know if she's super into the lore, but I mean, from being around other superheroes, she knows a bit. She knows some of the scene. She
Okay.
might not be like care about like any golden age or silver age or whatever nonsense, but
right. So mostly this generation, Kowalski might know a bit.
Yeah.
So then we already know Tekla, not her circus, not her monkeys, but Tara, Dorothy, Kowalski, you can determine if you recognize an out of costume B tier, C tier supervillain named Yellow Jacket. Otherwise, woman who appears to be in her late 30s to 40s is the pilot of this manta ray ship. Triton sits down beside her, and
how long ago was she kind of a villain?
Before she did 5 in a max super security prison.
So at least 5 years since she last did a supervillain thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
That seems recent enough to at least know a little bit, maybe. I think Kowalski is clocking it.
Nice.
I'm like, who am I sitting next to? I bet I'm sitting next to Tara.
Yeah, you're sitting next to Tara.
I'm like, you kid. I nudge her with my elbow.
Yeah.
You see that?
You
You
need
already
the
know who that
lady
is?
sitting beside Mr. Triton?
Yeah. Yellow Jacket?
Yellow
Sitting next to me.
Jacket. Yellow-
Maybe.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
are they a villain?
And like, is there like, I mean, I'm gonna guess maybe some of this seating is designed for humans specifically because we're here.
Yes.
So maybe there's some like human components like bolts.
Sure.
I'm
That sounds
definitely
like poor planning. I love it.
Yeah, as I'm like talking, I'm like holding out one hand, and I'm just like gently rotating my hand like, and just one bolt is just unscrewing as I'm like,
Nice.
might need it.
And I think what you see is as you're looking around, you notice the bolts is that these seats are placed in housings. Like they're secure, but they had to retrofit this for human-sized folk. Like a couple rows of this seating were probably for larger than average human size individuals. Yellow Jacketer, she leans back. Hey, you guys can call me Miss Christine. I'm PR. I'll be working with you guys on PR down the road, so not early on. And we're headed to the Atlantean Academy. So please buckle in.
If we have to make a move, you in?
What are you? I mean,
I'm just buckling my seatbelt.
Mr. Crichton is right there. I mean, he wouldn't let anything happen to us.
Yeah, and we already know there's mind control narcs on this, so
There's mind control.
Not a narc,
Narcs.
not mind control.
She's very.
so we think she says.
As the manta ray starts taking off and you're heading towards this aperture in the biodome and it slides through and then you're completely in the ocean.
We'll be fine.
Do you think this is at all safe?
And Tekla just closes her eyes and she's like, probably.
Okay. Just thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like a little
yeah.
pop as the rivets or whatever just goes flies into my palm of my hand, and I'm just like fold my arms and stare ahead.
Well,
Nice.
this is going to be safe. Of course, this is going to be safe.
Dorothy, you feel from behind you, the larger guy, he's like maybe 6'1". He reaches up and he pats your shoulder. He says, it'll be all right.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
okay.
Of course it will. Thank you. Sure, I'm not used to so much water, I guess.
They do this all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? If they can make those domes work, and we never hear about them collapsing unless somebody plants a huge bomb on them, then this is way easier than that. It's also a good shape for it, the two recursive curves just flexing into one another, creating more compression strength. It's very easy to build a lot of triangles into the space.
The manta ray ship is cutting through the water quickly, continues to build up speed. You actually pass by a large whale with like a baby whale, and you see all these little fish that are kind of floating around the top of the whale. And it turns slightly, and you can see its underside, and unfortunately you see this long scar on its side.
Oh.
Um,
Mom's been through some shit.
I think Tara is like super excited and looking over at them and just starts sort of singing under her breath it's lovely bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful as for bread tops and broomsticks as she's watching all of this.
That's nice. I love that. Ahead, after maybe 10 minutes of travel, you pass by a few other biodomes, but then set off by itself a slightly larger biodome stands proudly. And we've got some pictures, so I'll just like picture share just so we're all in the same kind of headspace. It's definitely deeper than this in picture, but I do love the overall breadth and the variety of things we see inside this biodome. Here's another picture of a biodome. So just have those in your mindset. The manta ray ship comes down through here and heads through another aperture, and it looks like it's some kind of airlock. When you come into this, it's filled with water, and the airlock changes all the water, drains out as is flushed from that particular room, and then the doors open up. At the base of the area, evidently she was here when the ship came in. You see that there is a female. You know female because of the dress she's wearing. She has a pair, like instead of hair, she has these green pair of like, well, in Star Wars terms, I almost see them as like Leku. They look like these odd, slightly floppy fins. I'll just show the picture because it tells us 10,000 words. Otherwise, I'll hand gesture a lot. But you see this woman, and she is attended by this individual who actually has literal wings, 2 pairs of arms. You may have seen a creature like this in a comic book in the past, but it's like, if we talk Marvel comics, I'm mostly talking to Jen, Alex, maybe Tyler. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're talking Marvel comics, she's kind of an Inhuman. Like, oh yeah, you might recognize, you probably haven't read that comic. And when I say she, it's actually a Zer. Sorry, is the pronouns that Aasimar uses. But Aasimar is attending. It's obvious that Z is right behind the green-skinned woman with a beautiful little stripe in between. And as the 6 of you come down with Miss Christine and Triton, she has this little, she's clutched to her chest, a itinerary data pad. Greetings, new students. I am the headmistress, Paola Kaolan. Welcome to the Atlantean Academy. We look forward to helping you to harness your abilities so that you can be confident members of society. You will be residing here in the biosphere until you've reached level 13. We have a full complement of staff who are here to help you learn about your abilities, how to cope with them, how to use them and utilize them. Your food will be provided. There will be an occasional opportunity for some of you to travel out of the biosphere to learn more about Atlantis and our people. But of course, that responsibility must be earned. So if you are diligent and you work hard, then there will be rewards. But if you do not work hard, then we will continue to help and coach you to the point where you can harness your abilities. Because as you most likely have already become aware, your capabilities can be of extreme benefit to people, but if not used properly, could be very dangerous. And that is why you are here. There are a number of superpowered beings, super sentients, who have traveled these halls and become heroes. And we look forward to adding to the roll of honor with you. Triton will see you to your assigned dormitory rooms. And we'll break here. Sabine, you had a rules question? So
Yeah, because this was a scene, wasn't it? Or was this
I
a
think it was
GM
kind of
scene?
continued.
What
Well,
kind of
that was a great question.
GM
To
was
me, I
that?
was like finishing up the prologue, right?
Okay, fine. Cool.
I wasn't
I was
clear
just
about that. I
wondering
had you
if-
guys
if
roll,
that-
but I realized I
if
gotta
that was
get you
a-
there before we start doing actual
Yeah.
scenes. So
Yeah.
now we will pause. now the oh shoot, the like cutscene intro of the video game has taken place, and we pause because I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to talk a little out of character to see if there are any particular scenes that folks are interested in purchasing here. So there are 4 scene types, and I'll jump to our little character keeper here. We have battle scenes. Usually those take place later in the act. we will at some point likely conclude the act with a battle scene. There are spotlight scenes. A spotlight scene only costs 1 scene point. There are multiple types of spotlight scenes, from confrontations, exploring the academy, flashbacks, highlights, interaction, investigation, repercussions, and others. The GM can purchase specific types of spotlight scenes. And then there's the training scene, which is the one that we did during our playtest. Let me warn you, friends, the training scene can be very long. So be advised, if you want to get into a training scene with other folks, I do not recommend we do that. And vital scenes. And I just realized, looking at time, that this may be when Tyler needs to duck out. So thank you very much, Tyler.
It will be very shortly.
Okay, cool. Do you have a scene you'd like to purchase?
I do have one I would like to try.
Sweet.
I would like to do a spotlight, a highlight, and I'm going to spend 1 scene point.
Okay, so that means that concluding this scene will take 1 step, meaning you have to have 1 successful roll to complete out of the scene.
And so I dropped number of scenes, right, to 2 because I spent 1.
Correct.
All right. And I think that okay, I'm just reading through real quick. Prove their worth. Yep. I'm doing the right scene. Determine what they want to highlight about their super in this scene. If they could demonstrate with effective action roll to get +1 at the end of the thing. So, I think it's kind of we see unpacking, maybe. The room, opening up, my suitcase, and kind of pulled my phone out. And what I'm going to try and highlight, and I'm wondering, does it need to be, is it in particular some sort of, it's not about, it's just something about the character?
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, if you want to start at the end of I'd like to target this kind of role, and then we can build the scene to head towards that, I'm totally cool with that. Remember, though, the purpose of the scene not only to highlight what you do, but if you're successful, you complete that 1 step, then you gain +1 value point at the end of the scene.
Right. I'm trying to show that Taichi is she wants to make friends, and B, that she is innately a very kind, generous person.
Ooh, interesting.
And so it's,
So we would need to do a conflict interaction or protection type of action. It could be a thing where you run into something that needs protection. It could be you could just merely have an interaction with someone who you're showing your kindness around. What do you think?
do I have to have one of those other things? Is the highlight not the scene itself?
The highlight, maybe I'm not. So we need to roll, we need to hit to some point where we roll to finish the step. So I was maybe talking to mechanics first. What did you have in mind to highlight Tara's caring nature?
As I look at my phone, I go, I wish I had a good phone that I could give to Dorothy.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that sounds great.
But purely from the game mechanics, are we saying that we would only have a role in one of these other things, or is there not a role that you could do in a highlight scene? Because this would be highlighting this thing about me.
Yes. you can do a roll within a highlight scene. In fact, you need to complete it
Mhm.
successfully.
Okay.
I was just trying to angle the scene more pointedly towards one of the action types, but it sounds like you have an action in mind, which is you want to wish up a cool phone.
Yeah.
That sounds to me like an overpower use.
Uh-huh.
But then what type of action
I'm
is,
guessing it's probably an interaction.
because you're trying to interact with your surroundings? I think that sounds
Correct.
perfectly fine to me. So then we're going to, again, sticking in a lot of turn sequence. Cool. So we've described what you're doing. This is great. I like, is this in her room? Like Tara's, each of you have your own. Well, let
It's
me
in
ask,
Tara's room, yeah.
do you want to each have your own rooms, or do you think you guys are bunked up? Do you like the idea of having a roommate? I'm totally open to either option.
I kind of like the idea of a small private room, but I could be
Mhm.
swayed.
I like the idea of a small private room and a bigger common room where we usually hang out, but we
Ooh,
have
nice.
our private.
Yeah, so
Ah,
All
our,
our
place
doors
we
lead
can
into
read.
the common room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm super into that. Great. Okay. So the default or base target number is a 6. Add complications. So are there an applicable complication to this? Let's see. I don't know of anything in the world that mechanically would push back on this. Just the fact that you're using your overpower is terrifying enough. So I think I'm going to say there are no complications here. So you're going to be rolling your interaction and your overpower dice. You're rolling a D8 and a D12. Let's see how it goes. 6 is your target.
Do I think that values
Great
any of my
question.
values? I
Great
don't know if
question.
any of
Sorry, I
it-
jumped
yeah.
ahead of that. Do any of your values feel like they apply here?
And that would reduce my target number, which I
Correct.
sort of don't want to do, unfortunately. But
True.
I don't know
But
if
you
any
have
of
to
those
use them. Like,
if they fit. Yeah.
Yeah, if they fit,
Mhm.
you got to use them.
And I don't know if this is it. The only one I think might fit would be great power comes great responsibility, but this seems like it's a lower stakes thing than
Mhm.
great power, great responsibility.
yeah.
Does everybody
I-
agree?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Nice.
straight up roll. I don't have
D8
anything
and a
else
D12.
to play with. Okay, I'm
We're
going
looking for
to
a 6 on the 2 dice combined.
I'm going to put them out. Then I'll roll
Okay, sounds good.
D8 and a D12.
Oh,
I
if
should have gotten
only.
that one. That might have been.
Mhm.
Should have just gone with that.
What is
Damn,
here? All right.
it's an
Okay.
8.
Okay,
Well, it's cool.
that's not too bad. All right, so our target number was 6. You rolled an 8. So
Mhm,
6
that's
is
1.
exact. You end up with 1 havoc. Let us talk about havoc. So you have to, by the way, you can't build it up. That I did reread enough to figure that piece out, which means you've got to spend it as it happens. So if
Mhm.
you have 1 havoc, you've got to either cause collateral damage or take a complication. A complication is a thing that Taiki will carry with her until we find a way out from it, and it would make difficulties numbers raise, right? It would be an add a target number plus
Okay.
1 to target number.
I think I'm going to add a complication because that'll kind of be personal. And once I dip here in a sec, it's not going to overload other people's stuff. Which I think. Tell me if you have a problem with this, but I think they're monitoring us pretty strongly, all things considered. So me using my power will have keyed something off. So I think my complication would be something like observed or eyes on me or something like that.
I think that works. That works in the current setup. I like that a lot. Looks like Tyler's already discovered. I added complication to the character keeper. It's on row 63. So now you can note that, and we can all be mindful of those complications. And they can stack. You can have multiple complications.
All right. And
So-
yeah.
So you got your one step that was success with Havoc. So what does this bring this scene home before you have to go?
I keep changing Jen's numbers. I'm sorry, Jen. I'm a bad person. There, change by 2. And steps left. Does steps left?
You have no steps left in the scene you've purchased. So you're
Okay,
good.
so it goes away. All right, excellent. So I think as I'm saying that, we see that blue glow sort of get brighter, and I think there's kind of like mists coalescing as the phone, almost exactly like the one that I have, sort of materializes into my hand. And I give a big smile, and I think we just see me sort of with that smile turn around, and the clear implication of going to find Dorothy to give it to her.
Oh, that's sweet. I mean, I'd love to see that handoff. Is that cool? Or do you have time for that?
It's got to be real quick though.
Sorry.
Greedy
for your time.
Yeah. I think there'll be like the knock on your door, Dorothy.
Yeah, come in.
Hi.
Hi, Tara.
It turns out I had another phone. I thought I'd give it to you since you said you
Wow.
didn't have one.
I don't, but wow, really?
Yeah, my number's already in it.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
this
that's
way we
awesome.
like,
Thank you.
can text each other and stuff.
Wow. That's so nice. Then I can text my brother and my family and you, of course, and everybody else. Wow. Thank you. And she will stop briefly and say, is it okay if I hug you?
That'd be awesome.
Okay, and then she will hug you. I think Dorothy is a bit taller than you are. I don't know. I imagine Tara is pretty
I'm
short.
pretty small.
Yeah, Dorothy is, well, she's not small. In no direction is she small. So
Yeah, I'm probably like 5'3" and a stick.
oh no, she's bigger. Not as tall as Tekla, but yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Tyler. We appreciate it.
Love y'all, and I will see you next week.
See you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, everybody's pictures got bigger. So resized for 4. All right. Well, that was a very quick introduction to a purchased scene. We went through the steps, and reminder to Tyler that 1 value point is gained for Taiki. And I'll just add that.
I think,
in.
yeah, a quick note on the keeper seems sufficient. Maybe
Should
highlight
be.
it.
Yep, I'm going to highlight it in bright yellow, and it will definitely stand out. Cool. Let's progress on. Each of you have your own rooms. There's a central common area that connect all 4 of your rooms, or maybe more, but we'll say there's 6 rooms. Yeah, there's 6 rooms on this particular floor. One of the things that was pointed out by Triton is that the biodome, the entire structure is made of it's a harvested coral reef. So there are colonies of coral polyps held together by calcium carbonate, meaning that if they need to adjust the biodome, it can be grown in different shapes. For
there's
now,
actually a scene type called Explore the Academy. Just say.
yes, there is. There certainly is. Would anyone like to purchase another, or are you saying I already have purchased this, so we should proceed forward? Let's see.
I was just wondering if that before
you're
you
right.
go into describing everything.
I know, damn it! I'm just so excited.
I know. I don't mean to stop you, but
No, you're right.
Yeah, exploring the academy also appealed to me.
Do
Okay.
you?
I mean, I would like to do a highlight scene actually myself. So,
Okay.
Is it okay if I
And
ask one quick
maybe we
question before you?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
choose your
Alex. What's
scene?
your question?
Because did you say you, Rich, are classed as one of the players for buying scenes?
Yes.
You've got points, so yeah.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to ask. That's
Yep.
it.
And I have 4 particular spotlight scenes I can purchase that you guys cannot. Those cost 1 scene point each. But let's see. So if you wanted to do a highlight scene for Dorothy, that sounds wonderful. How many scene points do you want to dump into it? Because
just the one. Just
I
the
think
one.
this. What's funny is I don't think you get more than +1 value point at the end of the scene. So I'm not sure why someone would want to purchase more of a highlight scene. But anyway, well, cool. So
Because someone wants to do more with their highlight scene. But
that's true.
what
Make
I
it
want to
longer.
do with my highlight scene is I want to show that Dorothy really cares about other people's happiness. And like the room is, the common room is a bit bare, right? So she decides to cosify the whole thing, like getting pillows from her bag, because she brought a lot of pillows, and just making a sort of a doily or something, just like something, or putting a picture. Now she's got a phone, she can take pictures and send them to the screen. She will figure out eventually how it works. Yeah, she wants to cosify the room. She wants to just that it's not like I imagine it's a bit sterile because no one has lived here. So she just wants to do that. And it's not using her powers at all.
It
That
is
would not
using
cosify.
her power.
No, that would not cosify the room at all. I don't see how you would do that.
Yeah.
No, this is just her doing a thing, like because that I just want to show that she is really not exactly she cares about other people, but she might take it too far. She's a person who will take it too far at some point or another, and just like, okay, I need to do this and that, and then we can do that, and tries to rope other people into it and stuff like that. Yes,
Ooh.
coziness engage.
Okay,
Exactly.
cool. So then, correct me if I'm not following, but it sounds like the scene begins with Dorothy doing some things to make her space a little more cozy.
Oh no, the common space, her own space.
The common space.
The common space.
Right.
That's the common space, because
like
that's where she thinks she will hang out more than in her own room. Just do you do in your own room? You can knit outside in the common space and talk to people, right?
Feels like an
such
interaction
interesting
type of role, right?
Yeah, I thought so as well. So I've got a D10, and I think my value, everyone deserves a chance to be happy, would apply here, right?
Yeah. So,
I'm pulling in the D10. I'm holding it separately.
Okay, so your difficulty, I don't see any complications to add to here. So we will have you roll that D10. Your target number is a 6, with your value making it a 5.
But we'll see.
Okay.
No, it didn't roll. It didn't roll.
Oh, it didn't? I thought it went. Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Didn't roll. It says on the headline where there it says Ty got 7. It doesn't say that I got something. So
This story
rolling again. Got a 6.
Weird,
yes, it's weird,
okay.
and now I changed it to a 2.
Yeah, I think it actually was a 6 when you rolled it for me, and maybe it was a delay for you. And if we, unfortunately, we can't look at the historicals, but I saw the 6, and as did you. That's what we're going to call it, which means you got it exactly.
No, I'm 1
no,
over.
5. You're 1 over. Crap.
I'm 1 over because my here. One havoc.
Of havoc.
Yeah, I think that's. Wait, no, it doesn't do any havoc because I don't use powers.
Didn't use your power. That's right. So then
no havoc
it's a
there.
success. Yeah, so it's effective because it wasn't so far over that it entered the ineffective wildness.
Yep. Yay.
So doilies everywhere is some of Dorothy's interaction with the
maybe
common
not
room.
maybe not just doilies, but pillows and the particularly let's say there's a refrigerator and it has a very large handle. It's the cold steel, and she just knits a little pinkish thing around it so that you can touch it. It's nicer to touch it. It looks a bit more cozy. Cozy is a good word. Cozy is what she's looking at. Exactly. And she will work on this over time, because it's not a work that is done in a bit. But she's brought some tchotchkes from home that she can put up. So
If we came into one of somebody else's spotlight scenes,
Yes,
do we
I very
spend a
much want
point,
people to engage in
or
that.
do we
That character's
spend-
the spotlight, but you can be in.
yeah, sure.
if we're not like attempting to gain any of the mechanical
Mhm.
things,
Mhm.
can we just go
Yeah.
into it, or do we spend a point? Either
If
way.
you wanted to gain a value point by highlighting your character and you were willing to spend a scene point, I think you can jump into that.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
I just
Yes.
wanted to. I think because I imagine
That's a really good question.
Kowalski just coming into scene like kind of like looking, maybe outwardly looking a bit negative at the kind of doilies and things, and then kind of spotting the kind of pile of pillows and just like raising an eyebrow, and then just like falling backwards into pillows.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what is our common room like? I assume that we're all sharing the same common room, because
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to try here.
Metal
So.
circular table in the middle. Actually, no way. It
fridge.
could maybe be a bit weirder since we're
Yeah.
Atlantean.
Yeah, maybe like something grown from coral
Yes.
coral table or something like that.
I think
Yep, grown
what-
coral table, and maybe it's like polished down, so it's not like a cheese grater that we are expected to put our textbooks on. You know, it's a smooth surface.
Yeah, and then we have
Oh,
these
Do you
these
think
really
the table
simple.
has no legs as well? It just hovers there.
I
Oh,
think it has
nice.
maybe
Hovers.
a column in the middle or something that's been grown from, like you grow it
Ooh, I
like a
that
tree
more.
and then
Yeah.
it grows out.
Yeah.
But I imagine they have these really cheap IKEA chairs that you can put down, because they needed human chairs really fast.
I love that. That's great.
Yep, they needed human chairs really fast, and somehow they have to replace these chairs pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling
Yeah, they are not very stable chairs.
like the supply closet just has a bunch of unassembled versions of these chairs.
Just
Just
boxes
waiting.
with things written in Swedish on the side.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
do we see like the sea above us? Like there's no like enclosed ceiling.
Mhm.
If you
Ooh,
like, there's just
okay.
like a normal ceiling height. It's just like
Yeah.
these
And
on
I'm
the side of the
imagining it's
dome.
like kind of a honeycomb design for each of the floors.
Mhm.
So you've got every room has a pretty cool view of the interior of the biodome as well as the ocean outside of it. So that central area is not only the hub where you would meet, but it also is where you have like an elevator shaft to get you down, because you guys can't swim down, and they figured out that people can't just jump out of the windows. They figured that much out. They have to deal with gravity here. So yeah.
Gravity.
But yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we iterate, I'm in a pile of pillows. I just like I
Yeah.
don't
Thumbs
even
up.
look in Dorothy's direction. I just like raise a hand with a thumbs up.
Mhm.
And there's like a grunt.
Yeah, Dorothy looks very happy and tries to sort of hide her new phone from you. Just
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think that'll help hide. I mean, this distance helps.
Well,
My pals don't know if it's hidden in your pocket or not.
I think she tries to do it so you don't notice. Like
Okay.
she'll be very embarrassed if you notice this. So she will say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean. Of course not. I didn't want to say that you were destroying my phone. That's not what I was saying. I'm sorry." Here, catch this pillow.
Hey.
So to get a little mechanics talking, I'm sorry, Jen, I feel like I just
Mhm.
talked over you about to say something. Alex, do you want to buy into this highlight scene?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Adding flavor to the
Good.
little interaction. Yeah.
Yes, please do enter each other's scenes. I don't want this to feel very isolating. Just because you're purchasing a scene doesn't mean
Yeah, that's
other
basically
folks
what
can't
I
engage.
also-
It just means that mechanically you purchase the scene, you'll get the mechanical benefit from the scene.
And they're the focus.
Yes,
Because they're the,
exactly.
yeah, they're the protagonist of the scene.
Yes.
Basically, they get to frame the scene, and anybody who buys themselves into the scene as actually one more step to the scene. That means we need one more action roll for that. It doesn't say a lot about whose scene it is, but if you frame the scene about, I want to show that Dorothy is a nice person who maybe does stuff sometimes, then that is what the scene is about. And you can't just buy yourself and say, oh no, I want the scene to be about how gravity affects us all in this place. But you could, I think, if you buy yourself into it with the scene point, you could say, okay, and this is also about how Kowalski reacts to people trying to pamper her.
Yes.
That would be, I think, the way you go about this, by enhancing or adding to the scene. Yes, and right, but not changing the scene totally from what it was before. That's what my reading of the game was, I think. So, okay, cool. I get action point.
Nice. Yes. Is it action point or value point? I think it's a value point.
Value point. It's a value point. What do I do with a value point? I put it in one of my action thingies.
You can put it in either of your three values, which are
I will put it into everyone deserves to be happy, because I mean, that's what the scene was about.
There are hover overs for each of those heroic, troublesome, and psychological value points, what you can spend them for. So you can spend that point to reduce the result of an action roll, and then there are other results for the different types of values. But yeah, that extra point will help you out in the future. I have a scene I'm willing to purchase, but I wanted to check in. Does anyone have another scene, and we're kind of still in that early area of exploring your dormitory rooms before classes begin type thing?
I have a scene, but it's not in any rush to be manifest.
Cool. So this one's very quick then. I'll just interrupt for a cutaway. So this costs 1 scene point. I started with 5. So I'm down to 4. And I think I may, because there isn't a GM, I'm going to create a clock. Act 1 GM scene points. And it had 5 segments. But I'm spending 1 for a cutaway. And this is mostly for Tyler's benefit. So hopefully he watches the video, but it could be fun. We cut away to like a deep amber colored room. There are a number of those like coral reef designs with screens on them displaying a number of places across campus. And then we see Paola Kanu, the headmistress, is leaned over, and she's watching these 6 screens that are all focused in on your rooms. And she plays and kind of scrubs back to replay Dorothy wishing a phone into existence. And she rubs her little thin like hands. I'm imagining that she has appendages, she has hands, but there's webs that connect all of them. And so she can't really kind of steeple her fingers, but she can rub them, and she seems extremely irritated. Like there's a energy of irritation as she looks over at this. She scrubs it again. Not 5 damn minutes, and then she I told you, Imla, you have to keep an eye on the Wisher. She's the one. She's not going to make it. I'm telling you, she's not going to make it. And Imla Quan, this titanic, like humongous creature with this like, crab-like features and these weird devices that are attached to its skin. It leans down, and with its very broad eyes, it has to move its because it has this weird kind of rhinoceros horn that comes forth on its face, so it has to turn its head a little bit so that it doesn't bump into the screens, and it focuses its eye to watch the video as Paula Kanu shows it again to it, and it grunts. Yes. Watch close. Wish is not bad. Well, what if she wishes for you to be nothing more than a pot of fish? That would be bad. Pot of fish. That's my cutaway. Is a fretting headmistress who is already freaking out slightly over someone just showing up and using magic powers. So, Alex, you said you had a scene you were interested in.
Yeah, I think it might be a confrontation. I want to go and see Triton.
Nice. So the super needs to have a scene in which you confront other characters about a problem developed during this story. This could be a while in search of answers to existing questions that points in the right direction or provides a direct solution to a problem. It's 2 steps per scene point. How many scene points do you want to spend?
Well, 1.
Okay. Then we have 2 steps to resolve. You can drop your number of scene points to 4, and I added a steps left of 2. Do you imagine that this is somewhere in the dormitory complex or outside somewhere? Where do you want this scene to take place?
I mean, I think it literally starts, I think, in that common room. I think Kowalski has been in the pile of pillows for a while, kind of staring at the door more and more intently until finally she's made a decision. She gets up and starts stomping towards the door. I think reaches out a hand and like that little bolt that she kept she's stored in her room. I think it just goes
secreted on your person
through the door, leaving a little hole. So it flies into her hand. Well, is that something I need to roll?
It's 2 steps, so you're just basically bringing a bolt with you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, like I don't
Yeah.
think an overpower comes in with you making a bolt come to your hand. I think that's within your periphery. Just do the thing. I'll ask for rolls enough for you to get those 2 steps soon, though.
Yeah,
I promise.
Are the doors metal in this place, or are they just?
They are not.
Okay,
not on this
so
floor. They are. There's almost no metal in this floor.
Okay. I'm walking towards
the lights
door.
are mostly
Door doesn't
bioluminescent,
open,
and
which there's like a moment of Kowalski kind of like. Then she reaches out her hand because it's like a lot of times doors just slam open just as she's approaching.
Now, let me check in, Alex. This is your scene. You've purchased it.
Yes.
Does anyone notice you deciding to march off and go do a thing?
I mean, I do. I'm very stompy as I do.
You are kind of Queen Obvious. So
yeah.
Tekla and Dorothy, you both see Kowalski's decided to leave you, and she's headed off. So, react to that as you would. But yeah. The elevator opens up. It's kind of like a ball. It's almost like a seashell in a way.
Step in. Doesn't like look around buttons and say up. Go to Triton. And then try and
Cool.
Oh.
Just to check in. So one thing that had been mentioned was that the top of your floor, you could see the ocean. Were you guys imagining that you're effectively on the penthouse? Just want to check in, because then does up take you out of this dormitory? Like, I'm just trying to, we're all in theater of the mind, so I'll make sure we're all kind of
I'm
picturing
imagining
the same.
like the dome. I imagine
Mhm.
there's some sort of like the main offices or main things of people, because they can look directly down to the center.
And you're thinking
But I
the
think we're
elevator can
we're
like
on the
traverse
curve.
around or something? Doesn't
Yeah,
just
maybe
go up and
sphere
down?
just goes vroom,
Well, also
upwards
like
into the-
our dorm might be a particularly organic shape. So we might be able to see right above us. Also, it might be that the commons is on the exterior of the building and our rooms are more interior,
Yeah,
making that a little easier, if that makes sense. It's not very practical when it comes to some things, but I didn't design the building.
Let's go. I kind of like the idea of being able to lay in your bed and look out type deal. And if you do them interior, that, yeah. But let's say that the elevator doesn't just go up and down, so it's able to slide you towards the offices. That's where you said up, so you're thinking offices, and there's a soft chime in some non-English language that sounds like it's a yes. Does it sound like that harshness of a no? And then the thing moves. You traverse out of the shaft that is your dormitory, and it eventually comes up into the top of the bio dome where the central offices can be found. Doors open up, and where do you do? How do you find Triton?
I walk down the corridor, and like, are there any like names on? Do you think there's names on doors or tech or some sort of script or?
Yeah, I think there are more empty offices than there are filled offices. Let's say that there is one for Rika Christine. There is also one for someone named Deva, someone named Asimar, and then you find Triton's office.
I walk straight in.
Cool. When you walk straight into the office, you see seated on what seems like a chair is the Ella, the redhead that you had met on the train. And Triton is, I still see him as a sitting behind a desk kind of person. So he's seated across from her. And when you walk in, he says, "You cannot just pull things from people's minds." They're basically screaming at me. Oh, Kowalski's here. She hasn't turned around, like your back's to her. She's mad. Triton.
Yeah, Triton, I need to talk to you.
Of course. Ella, if you could give us a few moments. You can return to your dorm if you like. Sure. Great. She gets up.
I'm like, wait until she's leaving, but obviously
She closes the door. Triton stands up.
Yellow Jacket, you got villain here? I mean, what's the deal with that? Is this like trap thing? Is this like prison? You said this wasn't a prison.
It sounds like you're trying to get something out of him. Maybe you're attempting to interact with him. Wow, you're really good at interaction, by the way. Holy cats. So let's figure this out. Sounds like you're trying to get some answers from him. Our base target is a 6. Do you have any values that you feel like should apply here?
What are you rebelling against?
Okay.
So
then
I would roll. So what would I add to this? Just to be clear, is that like That's
So
just-
you reduce the target number for
By-
one value, lesson, and bond each that apply. So the
Okay.
base target number is a 6. You've got a
Goes up to
value that
4.
applies, so it drops to a 5. You are not using a power. It doesn't sound like.
Also, the value points don't count. It's just
Does a
The
value
value.
apply? That'll affect your target
Yeah.
number. Your value points are like bennies for you to use after the roll to fiddle with the
Yep.
die result or the target number.
and I'm using interaction.
Yes. Doesn't sound like you're whipping out your powers at this moment.
No.
Correct? Okay. So your target number is a 6. You're rolling a d12 because you are the queen of interaction.
I will admit that I applied those things when I was maybe
If after first
misunderstanding
session, it's the first time we're seeing things in action.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'd like to rejigger my numbers, just give me a heads up and take care of it.
I think I got a 3.
Okay. So that is a fairly fail because your target number was a 6. So that's just a straight up failure, which means you were trying to get him to be like honest, forthright, truthful with you.
Mm.
Triton says, Karen, if you want to have this conversation, you need to schedule an appointment with me. You need to at least
Fine. We're in prison. Fine.
respect
And I'm gonna-
the time of your fellow students. I was speaking with Ella when you interrupted us.
Yeah, and now she's gone.
She's gone. Yes, that's true. But the opportunity that I had to speak with her about lifting things from her fellow classmates' surface thoughts has been squandered.
Right, so I'll go and back to my prison cell.
Yellow Jacket has committed crimes. She has been in a penitentiary to pay what society deems is the cost for those crimes. And she served her time. She is no longer a prisoner. Do you understand, Karen?
I understand. So it's not prison.
Does it look like a prison?
Am I looking around like, well,
You see, there's one wall with all of these like photos of Triton and things like Triton meeting people. It isn't just glory poses of him doing things. It's like him greeting folks and other dignitaries and the like. It's cozy. Not Dorothy cozy. There are no cozies. Well, I appreciate your passion, but it is wholly unfocused, which is one of my main concerns about you, Karen.
just sorry about barging in. Go. Make an appointment next time.
Everyone makes mistakes, Karen. Learning from them is what's important. Each of you have strengths and you have weaknesses. Your impulsiveness is yours. I know what happened on the bridge that day. I don't want it to happen to you or anyone else again.
Sticking to small stuff. Small.
For now, that is an acceptable tactic. But it won't be forever. You have to learn to harness your power, or it will be used against you and many other people will become your victims again.
Can I go back to my room?
After you apologize to Ella for interrupting her session and ask her to come back in, you may go back to your room.
Fine.
Thank you, Karen.
Is she waiting outside?
Kind of pacing back and forth. Hey, that wasn't anything I did, right?
So you're not stealing things from my brain.
It's not stealing. You get to keep it. Although that gives me an idea. I've been thinking about like, what's my academy name? And I think Swipe's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry for barging in. Well, didn't mean to,
Oh, I was not enjoying that conversation. I kind of appreciated that. You can barge in whenever I'm getting yelled at.
Can I roll to be sincere in my apology? Or
Yeah,
at least
do
in my
it.
being nice.
Do it. I
Uh,
don't think you have any complications yet. You just failed on your interaction before. Let's have you interact again.
I don't think any of my values count. To
I
what I'm wanting
don't
to
think
do,
so either.
what I'm
Yeah,
about to-
no.
But it's interaction again. That
Yep,
would be-
another D12 with a target number of 6.
I'll select that and re-roll it. And I think I'm
7.
like,
Oh,
yeah, trying. I've been on the many times on the end of his, blah, 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 blah. I get it.
yeah. Like that's cool. I thought you were like brand new to this. Like, wow, Dorothy literally just fell off the farm, right? Am I right?
Yeah. She's a good kid. I'm by the way, I'm sure that Karen is probably the same age.
And
Or depending on
Taro,
how-
woo, like Space Cadet, am I right?
They're a bit whatever, but they're cool. You
Yeah,
can,
see, we're cool though. We're cool. See, the thing is, Karen, like other people, they don't say what they mean, but you totally do.
Yeah, I'm great. Look, I just want to say sorry. Come hang out anytime. She says, totally regretting it as the words come out of her mouth.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. We should totally hang out now. Let's go.
Yeah. I think
Triton
this is-
expressly said, bring her back. Like she goes back in to finish this conversation.
Yeah.
So.
I think, Karen, actually, even when she says it itself in her own head, she growls slightly at the the name. Yeah, she's ditching Tryon and going off with.
Nice. Cool. So here's where we've reached a point where it feels like the scene's done, but
Yeah.
the steps aren't complete. So
Wasn't it 2 steps?
it's 2 steps. You have to be, a step is completed when you successfully roll. Your first roll is a failure. So we had 2 rolls, but not 2 steps. So do we want to extend this a little further, or the benefit of a confrontation is getting information? Are you satisfied with the scene, even though we didn't complete all the steps? You don't lose out on anything mechanically, but fictionally, if you want to drive towards more.
No, I feel like I got the answer that I wanted, like some reassurance that we're not literally just in a prison. I mean, he might totally be lying or not know the truth, but at least for now, Kowalski believes him.
Okay, cool. Then we will bring that scene to a close. And Swipe blow off her getting yelled at by Triton. Yelled at. He wasn't actually yelling, but
Yeah.
teenagers. So cool. I would like to see if Jen, if you have any scenes for Tekla that you'd like to purchase before we bring today's session to a close.
Goodness. Exploring the Academy has just kept calling to me. So I think let's do that.
Okay, exploring the Academy is 2 steps plus 1 step per additional scene point.
Would you mind if I bought myself Jet exploring the academy?
Do you want to buy your way into the scene?
Yep.
Cool,
Yep,
do it.
I still have
Yeah, let's
points.
do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Cool.
Then
Also, I'd like to call for a very quick bio break just before we get started.
yeah, let's do that. Hey, and we're back. So Jen, you had talked about doing an exploring the academy. It says 2 steps plus 1 step per additional. So I think we're starting off with you spending 1 scene point to buy in, and then Sabine, you said Dorothy, you wanted to have her buy in. So that's 2 total scene points, each of you paying 1, and the number of steps to resolve it would be 3.
Cool. Yep.
Cool. So, exploring the open and concealed areas of
Sorry.
their academy. Oh,
Help
yes.
me with the math again, because we have 2 scene points paid, right? Into the scene.
You're each paying a scene point.
Mhm.
The just triggering exploring the academy.
Okay, per
steps.
additional scene point. Okay, I see.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
it's
Thank
3
you.
scene points. Yeah, no problem. 3 scene points to get through it. And I'll actually just stick that act 1 explore scene. And I'll just throw that onto our die roller so we all have access to see, because it'd be weird to track on any one person's thing. But so you each reduce your total scene points by 1. Sorry, I just saw the Tekla. Math is 1 person. Yeah, I hear you. So we're at 0 steps completed. That means you're going to have to succeed at 3 different die rolls within the scene for the benefit of what is the benefit at the end? There's no mechanical benefit. So we can step out of that scene without losing out on anything. So it's more of a timing mechanism than an actual reward at the end. Does that make sense?
I mean, it says that we learn about something about
Yeah,
what
yeah.
makes
You'll
the academy
fictionally
tick,
you'll
so-
learn, hopefully
yeah,
learn.
okay.
information.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and if we check out before making all the steps, then we still will have learned information because we'll have played. Okay, I
I'll
see.
demand that
Thank
you unlearn the information. Sorry.
I mean,
Yeah.
mind wipe. Okay, no, you shouldn't have been here. Forget about what you were doing, and we're both back. I'm like,
Look
and
at the
this
blinky
story
thing.
is done with a crochet needle.
Well, Jen, you
Yes.
purchased this. You were the initial. So let's start up framing the scene, and then Sabine, you purchased in. So of course you can offer some of your thoughts. Where do you want to start off, Tekla? What were you thinking?
I think Tekla's unpacked more or less. Not like she's got a whole lot with her. She's put her one thing in the kitchen that she was told she was allowed to bring after probably like multiple back and forth emails with the liaison, which is an AeroPress and like a bag of pre-ground coffee beans. She couldn't bring a grinder. And
Cool.
she sort of looks at it longingly and then sighs and goes, I'm going for a walk. You want to come with me?
Yeah, sure. I would like to look at more of this place.
I like the pillows. They're cute.
Thank you.
And the
Yeah,
doilies.
This garble thingy they have there, like that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but maybe some coasters.
Yeah, coasters.
Although I have
cool.
no idea if water damages. You know what? It would be dumb if water damaged this table. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the dumbest thing? So no coasters. Let's be wild. Let's not have coasters.
Could be that coffee damages the table, though. I think this stuff might not be used to coffee or whatever else we want to drink here.
I don't plan to waste coffee.
Yeah, and neither do I, but you never know.
We'll see. Maybe some. If they don't have towels for us here, then that's their mistake.
Fair enough. I found towels. I mean, I brought towels, but I also found towels in our bathing suite thingy.
You have a bathing suite thingy?
There's the bathing. What did you think that door over there? There's the bathing.
A closet? Another door?
No, it's not. No, it's just.
I opened it up because I gotta look.
It's a room with a bathtub in it. Look.
Nice.
I'm imagining it's like a Japanese bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That everything can get wet is one of the things I thought was
it's all
fascinating.
tile. Yep.
Yeah, it's all tile.
There's a drain in the center kind of a deal so that you can really clean it out. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's towels over there. They're a bit weird though. They smell like kelp.
It's not a bad smell.
You're right. It's not a bad smell. Just not used to it. We didn't have kelp in Kansas. Don't have a lot of kelp in Kansas.
And I take like a really deep whiff of the towels and I'm like, maybe some rosemary would sort of bring this back and make it smell a bit more.
I don't have
like
rosemary. I don't have rosemary seeds. Maybe my parents can send me a care package with that. I can put it in a pot, and we don't have sunlight.
Sure, but we could get some grow lights.
Right?
If we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, though they've got man, if they don't have gardens down here, that would actually be very, not strange, but kind of a missed opportunity.
Let's go look for them then.
Yeah, let's look around. I want to see what kind of facilities they have to brainwash us poor delicate human children.
They're not really going to brainwash us.
No, I'm just sorry. I was watching the news and they had a bit on this place and it was very stupid.
I mean, I've heard stupid stuff in Kansas from people talking about the Atlanteans and the aliens and witches.
Yeah, we're going to be super.
Huh?
We're going to be super powered Atlantean Manchurian candidates.
What? We're going to China?
No, it's
okay.
It's the Manchurian Candidate. It's a movie about a dude who is brainwashed by the Chinese and
wow,
and then infiltrates American society and does bad things.
Oh wow, we're not going to do that.
No, it's fine. Okay, well, let's continue to assess the total lack of threat. Come on.
Yes. Okay.
Gardens.
Cool.
And we need to figure out how to use the elevator because I didn't pay attention on the way up.
Was there something with shells?
Oh, so the 3 seashells in the bathrooms, and then it's like a total panel cut, and we're just in front of the elevators now. There's no explanation.
Love it.
Love it.
That's great.
And Tekla actually literally does have this like magazine form like guide to Atlantis phrases and culture thing that she maybe got in an airport or a train station or something.
Everything's phonetic because the Atlantean language is just bananas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's like, yeah, okay. So this.
Mhm.
And then we're supposed to sort of feel where we want to go, like in our minds.
We don't know what we want to go to the gardens. So,
Thinking about some gardens.
okay.
Or maybe
Well,
outside.
let's put this to a roll, because you are trying to interact with whatever runs the transversal system. Feels like you're interacting with it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I don't think you're using a power.
Yeah.
Do you have any values that would affect this roll?
No.
Okay. Then you are rolling a d10, and your target number will be our base of 6. If you get a success, that'll complete a scene. Oh goodness, that looks. Or wait, do you drop them in and then roll? I think
I drop it in and then roll.
Okay, so we're over here. Good luck.
We got 6.
Perfect.
Exactsies.
Exactsies. Oh, exactsies. Then I think what happens is that this thing. Check in. Are we cool with the idea that maybe the elevator isn't like it's a shaft in the thing, but the elevator itself is actually able to just independently move out of the building and head towards a place? Does that seem interestingly alien to
I
everybody?
like the idea that it's kind of like veins through the dome, but yeah, there'd be like little things where you could just spit out the sphere out into the sea. And that's
Nice.
Yeah.
Dorothy's a little like, "Ooh," when we got spit out. I'm telling you, she's still not okay with being in the ocean.
And I take her by the shoulder. I'm like, it's okay. If anything bad happens, I can get us out of it. I think.
All the time. Oh, cool. I mean, I probably
More or less.
could too, but that might destroy the dome. So
I can probably do it without destroying the dome.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it
Probably.
your way then. Okay, cool.
So you succeeded. If you'd overdone it, it might have deposited you at a garden outside of the biodome, but you reach a just right communication. So it takes you out of the dormitory, slides into one of the veins that ends up. And if you're taking a look on the Academy tab, I think that you land somewhere near what's defined as the workroom, to the west of the workroom on the ground level. So it's right near this little river that runs by, that comes down from a little waterfall by Upper Falls Court. So you're kind of in that indentation.
And I point to the waterfall like a total goon. I'm like, there's a waterfall inside of our undersea biodome.
Wow, it's kind of cute though, right?
It's cool. I like it. It's dorky as hell, but I love it.
Yeah. Wow.
And the two of you see that sitting crisscross applesauce on his butt is the guy Joaquin. He probably said his name to you. And he's seated. He's in just a pair of jeans that have been ripped, in a couple of strategic places. And a t-shirt, but I don't think it's a Teenage Gerbil Uprising t-shirt. He sees the two of you. Oh, hey, you wanted to come out too, huh?
Yeah. No, it's there's not a lot to see in the dorms yet.
Okay, on it.
Dorothy, right?
Yes, Dorothy Arbor, sir.
Why? Oh no, I'm a student too. It's fine.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. I mean, hi. Anyway, you can call me Dorothy.
Cool. Tella?
Tekla.
Tekla. Huh. Neat.
It's very Italian. Don't worry about it.
It's Spanish for key, I think, though.
Is it?
On a key, like the on a piano, one of the things that you press and that makes a sound.
Huh.
I think that's a tekla. So like I don't know the English word. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
Translate Tekla from Spanish. Yeah, it is key. Absolutely.
Huh. That's fun.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not the kind of key you lock.
Right.
It's not that's the kind of key you find on the piano. Key to unlock is a llave. I think.
Italian, huh? I'm not going to do it, but Joaquin has a bit of an accent. Like English is his second language, so he's immediately thinking key. And you say it's way Italian. What does it mean in Italian? It means key in Portuguese.
Oh. And Tekla explains that it's and it becomes clear it's not just very Italian, it's also very Catholic. Because it's a name of a Christian martyr.
So you're Catholic?
By assignment. I went to a Catholic school, yes, with the uniforms, yes, with the nuns. But I am not in Catholic school right now, and I'm not going to act like it.
Cool.
Let's just say I had a fun time.
Half my family's Catholic, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, there are worse things. So, yeah, the waterfall, man. Have you seen anything cool?
Well, there's a lot we can't get into. Like the doors just don't want to open, and I think it's probably a bad idea to make them open.
Probably.
Earned your way in, I think, is what Triton said.
It was a garden, right? Is that possible? I mean, to earn maybe at one point a place where we could plant something.
And Rich wasn't clear in this, but the place that the elevator shaft thing brought you to near this river, there are a number of plants. It could easily be a kind of botanical garden.
I squat down and I check out some foliage.
Yeah,
but still maintain a conversation with Joaquin. I'm not dismissing him to quietly look at plants.
Yeah, it's alien, but close to the, like, you reach down and when you brush your finger across the grass has, like, the blades don't feel exactly right. It's like somebody tried to do their impression of a field on Earth, but they didn't exactly have the raw materials to work with.
Oh man. I wonder if it's possible that there are some extinct plants here that we just don't find on the surface anymore.
Interesting.
Would you like to seek out such things as part of your exploring the academy?
Sure.
All right. Well, let's have you roll another interaction roll. See if you can get a step here.
All right. Let's give that a shot.
So, any values that fit here? Not sure.
No. She's not making herself suffer. She's not preventing other people suffering. She's not taking on responsibilities.
Agreed. Then you are rolling your interaction, which is a D10 against the target number of 6.
All right, I got a 4.
Okay, that is a failure. Because your target number was a 6, so underneath is always a fail. You do not achieve a step in the progression. You don't find any plants that line up with plants that you know. Everything's like a Monet. It's an impressionistic version. It looks right until you get close. Every smell is just a little off. The textures are just, it's like vegan meat, early vegan meat, when it was made by a bunch of vegans who haven't tasted meat ever or in many years. And they go, this is like meat. It's not.
And I'm like, I ruffle my latest point of interest and I wonder out loud, is this magical? You're muted, Sabine.
Yeah, Dorothy's just like magic plants. I mean, they don't look precisely right, do they?
Mm-mm. And like there have been a couple of times throughout this exploration where it's pretty clear that Tekla's been tempted to like pluck something and nibble on it, but been like,
Don't nibble on plants you don't know.
Yep.
That's something I learned very early in my life.
Joaquin says, I think these were grown.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all part of the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that would be interesting.
But what's the point? Can we eat them or?
I haven't tried. I haven't.
Yeah, but if you grow that many plants, is that just for I don't know, to look at and be pretty? Is that cost a lot? It looks like it would cost a lot of money, and you could actually have not a huge field or something, but you could plant some. I think you could plant some potatoes and some, I don't know, fruit, tomatoes.
I'm not really sure.
Herbs.
There's dirt underneath this.
Oh, I'll try it. I have to figure out if there's dirt underneath this or something that could work as dirt. See.
Ooh.
I'll let the farm person do this.
Yeah, farm person, you're going to do some interaction with your surroundings. Oh man, I feel like a trad GM. I'm asking for die rolls constantly. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy.
I mean, I was digging for that role actually myself. So
awesome. You were digging for it.
Yeah, both literally and figuratively.
Do you have?
I don't think
values?
one of my no.
Okay.
No.
You're rolling your D10 against a difficulty of 6 or target number 6.
Cool. I'll have a 9. Wow, I'm overshooting, but that should still be okay, right?
Yeah,
because I'm not using a power.
You're not using a power, and it's still within that like over success, but still success. So the good news is that is your second step. It is success. So how is it that you know that while you dig up whatever this plant facsimile is and find dirt, how is it that you know that at this point something like growing earthbound vegetables here is not something we could just plant the seeds and it would work?
Smells wrong. Just smells like this. It smells like a bit like this scallop stuff. Earth is not, and it crumbles wrong. It's just the wrong kind of earth, because you can't plant foodstuffs in any kind of earth anyway. And this is just like, I don't know what this is supposed to be.
It's
but
like a hard-packed shell. Maybe it needs to be aerated. Maybe the pH balance is off.
Yeah,
it's dirt.
Yeah, it's kind of dirt, but it's not. Yeah, you can't just do. You'd have to do some stuff with it. Put in a little. Now I need a word. Put a little fertilizer on it or something. Do they have sea cows, and if so, do they have dung? I mean, I don't know if that it would even work, but I don't know if I would be even allowed to do that. But I mean,
they've got to bring in food from somewhere. And if they don't grow it here, where is that?
Why don't they grow it here? I mean, it costs money to bring food in from somewhere else. I mean, this whole thing costs a ton of money, I imagine.
Probably,
Right.
maybe. I mean, but then again, if this is supposed to be an academy for us and we have a couple of submarines coming in and out every day, then I can see them not wanting to waste the space on
Yeah, I guess.
on that, especially I don't know.
I'm just not used to that kind of place.
Joaquin says, I'm not sure they've had any humans here before.
Oh, right.
Wow.
I think that's right. That was on that news report too. We're the
Do they know
first
what we
human
eat?
class.
Do they know what we eat?
They're not stupid. Come on.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just
But they might not have everything that we eat, and they might not know how to cook it the way we're used to.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be eating a lot of pre-packaged meals. You notice that no one's introduced themselves as the chef?
I'll try to figure out where they have a kitchen, and maybe we can see if we can do something about that.
Ooh, do you want to try to find their kitchen? Maybe explore a little?
Yeah, I'm definitely down to find the kitchen.
Okay.
And like, Tekla will be like, yeah, I don't do pastries or anything, but I'm actually a pretty mean cook.
Okay.
So if they let me do that, we can have, real food.
That would be great. We can cook together.
Sure.
Cook with my mom all the time. I'm not a great cook, but I do pastries. Not as well as my grandma does. But
I mean, who does?
you're right. Who does?
Yeah. And if you did, you would tell people that you didn't. Because
but I
otherwise
don't.
that's just not exactly.
That would be impolite. Yeah, you're right. But I won't.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So who's taking this role?
I think I've gotten 2 roles. Dorothy's welcome to have 2 roles.
Okay. Then I'll
Especially
try.
you initiated the let's go look for the kitchens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason I asked for a primary, just to kind of talk a little mechanical for just a moment, sorry to cut you off, Sabine, but I just want to hit it while the moment's hot, is that there are bonds. There are bond scenes. You can develop a bond. And then when you help somebody that you have a bond with, you can increase or decrease their target number of their action.
Oh, cool.
So there are helping roles, but you have to actually pursue that particular type of scene.
How do we get a bond?
How do you get a bond? There are bond scenes. I'm trying to find it because I know that they exist.
Okay.
Bond scenes, bond scene. Crap. There's not one actually called bond scenes. Okay. Let me see. I will bonds. Okay. Bonds. Super's connection to other supers can affect the players of each character. Okay. So these no supers. Okay. I will have to, it looks like in a act, once per act, an existing bond can develop into something stronger. Okay. So the players of each character involved in this bond spin. Okay. So that's just saying how you get bonds. I thought there was a bond scene. Am I misremembering? Backstory.
I mean, there's an
modifier.
interaction scene, but it doesn't say anything about bonds.
Okay. Well, I will mark that. Just say bond scenes, ritual research, because I thought that was a particular scene type, but I'm not seeing the scene types in the list. So that is maybe a spotlight scene. I will have an answer for us next session because we're pretty late in the game as it is.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can work towards that interaction as you try to find a kitchen area. And I think Oz or Dorothy is making that role. Is that right?
Yep. Okay.
Any values that apply?
Don't think so. I mean,
Okay. D10 against a target number of 6.
yep. I mean, maybe the value that applies actually is make everyone happy because
I
I
was-
find
yeah, I
gonna
was-
argue for
I
that,
was-
yeah.
that could
let's say it's a
work to make
5 then.
everyone happy.
Absolutely. So target number of 5.
Okay. Let's roll. Wow, I rolled a 10. Ooh.
Just nailing it.
Oh my goodness. So
I'm
a
rolling very
10
high.
is
10.
havoc. Lucky for you, target number is 5. Lucky for you that you were not
It's even
using
two
a
havoc.
power.
Yeah.
Two
That
havoc,
would,
so
otherwise
that's
it would be
success.
2. But
Yeah, that would be very traumatic. That does
Nice.
complete this scene's number of points, and I think
yay.
you find a kitchen
Mhm.
area.
Mhm.
But I think because it was like overdoing it, the way that I'm going to phrase
Mhm.
that, if this seems fair to you guys, is that the kitchen area itself, that I'm trying to imagine, and I'm not a science fiction author, so correct me if this seems flawed at all. The idea of warming up food has to be kind of novel for people of Atlantis,
Yeah.
right? They generally eat things at room temperature, at least historically.
Water temperature.
Yeah,
Right.
water temperature.
I mean,
Water temperature.
maybe there are some regional subcultures of Atlanteans where like they live near underwater volcanic plumes,
Mm.
Ooh,
right?
that's neat, and it's become a
Mhm.
little,
Oiled.
a little
Right.
bougie to have like warmed up food, like the
Mhm.
Earthers do, like those unguild.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so when you find the kitchen, it is attended by some shark folk, and the food that they are making is really not palatable,
Mhm.
guys. They only one of them speaks a unguild language. So
Mhm.
you come in, you see that none of their equipment looks like an Earth kitchen, but you can
Mhm.
see there are burners, there are things that warm up items, there are food stuffs that they have. This is, like everything else in the biodome, there's oxygen in here, but their cooking methods are very Atlantean and bizarre.
Could
Tech was
Um,
fascinated.
could Swipe and Kowalski have
Oh,
ended up here on our
Yeah.
ditching
Love it.
Triton?
Yeah, you
Mhm,
guys have
mhm.
ended up here.
Cool.
What is it that Refuse is eating when Tekla and Dorothy find you?
If we think they have some supply, they've got a supply of human food. I want it to be astronaut ice cream. And
Nice.
she's kind of like heart mouthful, like, they got astronaut ice cream. It's all right.
Seriously?
Yeah, all right.
I've never had this before.
There's like a crate back there.
And we can just
The
take
shark
that.
dude's just pointed in the direction.
Okay.
Yeah, the shark folk don't seem at all affected by Refuse. We see them speaking in like on the comic panel, it's like weird squiggly things and then asterisks, and down at the bottom it's like, are they going to get sick eating that? I don't know.
This is Swipe.
That's medical's problem.
I can just gesture to Swipe. Like, this is Swipe.
It's my academy name.
Does
What do you
brain
think?
stuff.
Is that Ella? Or
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
Oh, okay.
it's Ella,
But
but
she's got an
she's declared
academy
her
name.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh
Oh.
no. Do we have to do some kind of cute nickname thing?
Do we have to have Academy's names as well?
I'm
Wow.
just going to use my work name.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, wait. Somebody wrote in my upcoming brochure Oz. That's supposed to be my thing name.
Kind of cool.
Oz is pretty neat.
Yeah,
Punchy.
I guess it's fine.
Punchy,
It's
short,
fine. Yeah.
easy to remember. Not a lot of other people have it.
That's
It's a little
It's kind-
masculine, but it's cool.
Do you think maybe I should go with Ozar? But that sounds like Ozarks, and I'm not from there.
No, Oz works. Dorothy of Oz. Yeah, I dig it. What about you,
Yeah.
Tekla?
Quanta. Because I know that Tachyon's already taken.
Cool.
Quantum.
Cool.
That's a really cool name. Like that. And I'm sorry, Kowalski, I did not get yours.
Refuse, whatever. I don't really care.
Okay.
Squeezing out the last of them.
Yeah, imagine it comes in these like Capri Sun pack, like these
Yeah.
little vac sealed packages.
Just sometimes like squeeze one end to really push out the last of it. I'm like, ugh.
I will
Astronaut
try.
ice cream. Is it crunchy? Is it chewy? Who knows?
I will find a bowl for this, since you can't eat like that. I'm sorry, and you can, of course, but I'd like a bowl to have and a spoon. I will try to explain to the shark fork what I need here. Bowl.
So they take and they like form
Spoon.
something into a bit of a pool, and then they press in on some piece of moldable metal of some kind.
Oh, nice.
And you have literal handmade bowl and spoon. Maybe
Cool.
one of the only ones in the academy right
Once
now.
again, I'm fascinated.
Mhm, mhm.
What? Oh, that's awesome. And like I'm still sort of peeking through as much as I can and seeing what they're doing, and like, are they juicing a fish liver? Sick.
Nice. And I
I
think
don't know much about cooking fish, but what I will do when we leave is I will take one of these ice packages thingies for Tara.
nice. But I think this might be a cool bit to bring our first full session to a close. As you guys enjoying astronaut ice cream in the weird kitchen of your new
Yeah,
home.
I think that's fair.
There do not appear to be any like end of session mechanics for our game, so we will just abruptly say that is where the story will take a pause. I have loved to do feedback, so if you guys have time, I know we gained a little bit later than normal, so if anyone needs to go, feel free.
I can spend some time.
Let's do a little bit of wishes followed by stars. Who's got some wishes to express?
Everyone for the whole session.
Yep, that's fair, Alex. Getting the easy wish has to happen every once in a while.
Yeah.
I wish to meet more NPCs next session. I think that we met the correct amount of NPCs this session. I'm not saying that we were NPC short, but I want to meet more kooky people.
You bet.
I want some sort of thing that we can investigate, something that might be wrong here.
Yeah. Also,
some nefarious thing going on.
there need to be some Atlanteans that are our age.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. And that are curious, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what are these land kids like? Is it cool to be on land? Got to find out.
Oh, that's dope. I love that wish a lot. Cool. Any other wishes?
I like some, not specifically training scenes, but classroom scenes.
Yeah.
Of our education in whatever form that takes.
Yeah, a few scenes where where we can at least talk about our goals being at the school, whether that's other people's goals for us or our goals for ourselves. I think that that's pretty interesting and not necessarily something that we've preemptively explored. I think that we all have an idea of it, but like all of the pre-game questions tend to focus very, very closely on our powers and not necessarily on that future. And I get it because, discovering things in play, yada, yada. But I'm curious.
Me too. Cool. Those are some very good and actionable wishes. And then, of course, I have a wish for how do bonds work. So I will get an answer to that.
Well, I want the dome and the elevators in the NPC list.
Okay.
I mean,
That
the
sounds
elevators
wild.
is a plural. I don't mind mentioning they're one entity, all elevators. I mention that.
I love the idea of the
heard.
elevators getting
back.
zoomies and like having, there are probably a couple of like dead runs, you know, places for the elevators to go that don't really go anywhere, that are just for them to be like,
Occasionally they just
yep. Yep.
What's the large
They've-
hadron collider type thing, just zooming around.
Yeah, just a
Dome.
circuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. I like those ideas. Let's switch over to some stars. Let's see, Sabine, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stars.
Yeah, stars to all of us, for mastering or wrangling the system to our satisfaction, which I think we all deserve stars for, especially Urich for guiding us through the whole
Thank you.
thing. Also, I like all the characters. I like the way we introduced us we were introduced to each other on the train. And yeah, I like the refuse to run to confront the teacher about what's going on here. That seemed appropriately rebellious. So yeah, those are my stars. I don't want to take all of them.
Thank you, Sabine. Jen, did you have any stars?
Stars for all of us, I think, leaning into the academy and building out the space. It's very interesting exploring what it's like and pardon me, what it's like and how it's built and composed and what day-to-day life is going to be like there. It feels like this interesting quiet time before a lot of, you know, hectic activity. So I'm curious. And I'm looking forward to further sessions.
Good. Thank you all for keeping such a positive attitude, being open to a new system for discovery and creation of this new space. This has been a really fun session, and I can't wait to continue forward, deepening some mysteries and expanding our overall cast. It's going to be fun. So thanks, everybody. And with that, we'll bring this session to a close.